Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. To get ourselves a treat.
Delicious.
Hello.
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 Hi.
Sorry, it's been like 40 years since the shit like commenced. You know?
Yeah.
It took forever.
Yeah. We've been trying to.
Technical difficulty.
Holy. Like my computer screen just kept going black. Like, and then like the cord wasn't working for the microphone. Like what? You said you're cursed, right?
I think I'm cursed.
Oh my god.
We've been going to the arcade lately.
Every time, like, something bad happens with the Dance Rush machine.
Yeah, it's just like last time, like we showed up yesterday and it was just flat out broken.
They had to
Really?
reset it twice.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a technology thing like a.
He has
an
an
omen.
EMP
I hope not.
just.
Yeah, you're an EMP.
I hope not.
Well, we got through the technical difficulties, so that's good. And we have a special guest, T-Kettle.
We do. It's
We
my
do.
boy Jacob Hoy.
Hi,
Jacob.
I'm Jacob.
The
And,
boy, Jacob Boy.
And he's my roommate.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. I live here.
Yeah, this guy's great. I know him a little bit. We make love every what,
Yeah.
Thursday and Sunday.
Yep.
So tonight's the big night.
Tonight's we confessed to Kettle.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
he didn't know until now.
Oh, of
This
course.
is-
But
this is big news.
we just basically write a transcript about what happened and just
Yeah.
give it to him. A lot of oohs and ahs in there.
There's a lot of oohs and ahs.
A lot of oohs and ahs.
So I actually came up. I was like, coming up with our list idea when Niko gave it to me. I'm like, you know what? This would be a really great list for Jake because he is my go-to guy for like certain things, specifically like animation, stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what?
Yes.
Jacob's gonna be perfect for this.
And I know you're like a big anime guy.
Yeah,
And,
like
the list is not anime, but it's animation.
It-
Yeah.
It extends
Yeah.
towards that too.
Exactly. So I feel like you'd have a lot to say about your list. You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited to be on. Like I've listened to a bunch of you guys' episodes, and like I'm in like across the house every time you guys record. So
Heck
Yes.
yeah,
That's right. You should have
That was
just
a good time.
should have just come in and said hello.
Yeah, kick the door down. We'd have loved it.
It would
I would
have
have
been
loved it. I wouldn't have even been upset that my door's broken.
don't cut that.
would have been like we said something you disagree with, like I don't like Princess Mononoke or whatever. You kick down the door.
I'm
that would
What are you
be
talking about?
that would be a kick the door down offense.
That's right. I don't even know what that movie's about. I've never seen it.
Well,
but
we might talk about
We
it.
might talk about
but,
that.
but I
we
hear
might
it's
talk
good.
about that.
Okay.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
I do the cha-cha like a sissy girl.
I'm as bad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
News might just be something I love.
Back to you, fuckers.
All right. So I had a wedding that I was working last night. And I was preparing for that for a couple nights. So there's probably more news and more trailers, but I just half-assed everything here. So sorry that this is the first episode you're on, Jake, because this is not a great.
Oh, it's gonna work
Not-
out. We got three of us talking about
It's
the
true.
stuff. You
Not
know.
a great itinerary. But yeah, you're right. There's only one piece of news here. Angelina Jolie is going to join the MCU in the lead in the Eternals. Do you guys know anything about the Eternals?
Not a single thing.
I didn't
Zero.
even know nothing.
Okay, the Eternals are like a group of like kind of gods, sort of. They're sort of like Thor and like Asgardians, but they're like a race of like superhumans. Like picture Asgardians and Inhumans. You know what Inhumans are? Kind of. Yeah, it's like them like mixed together, and they create like a whole super race sort of thing. It's very crazy. They're very like obscure, so it's kind of crazy that Marvel's making a movie about them.
And Angelina Jolie is gonna be like the lead.
She's gonna be like the lead, like Cersei apparently. She's gonna play Cersei.
I'm in. That's
You like Angelina Jolie?
Angelina Jolie's great.
Yeah, I like Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, she's got a storied career.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And she's still prime for.
I mean, tell you.
Every time.
There's no way 10-year-old you didn't watch Tomb Raider and was and were just fascinated.
Oh, yeah,
fascinated
yeah,
is the best word I could use.
Oh yeah, 100%. Tomb Raider. Yeah, that's the best part of that movie is Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
In many other ways than just one.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's cool and everything, but like, I really like hearing when like a new actor signs on to like the MCU because that pretty much tells me that they're cool with like superhero movies.
Yeah.
And it's like they're giving their
They're like
I don't
seal of approval.
Yeah,
I
seal
guess.
of approval. Yeah, perfect.
Like when Robert Redford was in Winter Soldier, or like,
yeah, it's like I was like, wow, like I really didn't expect him to dig this kind of stuff, but it's like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. So she's playing Cersei, who's like one of the gods or whatever, and there's also like Hercules. Like Hercules is another Eternal.
This is gonna break the MCU.
It's gonna be
so
insane.
OP.
It's gonna be so insane. So, well, apparently that's what they're going forward, because Captain Marvel's pretty overpowered. So
like, what is
gotta level the playing
Spider-Man gonna contribute to all this? What's
like
he
nothing.
gonna be doing?
Yeah, right. When the new
Slinging
Avengers
webs
team,
at guys.
yeah, right. When the new Avengers team is like, I don't know, Thor, Captain Marvel, and like the Eternals, it's gonna be like, what is Spider-Man gonna do?
Yeah, power creep's a real thing, man.
Yeah,
they have to worry about that. What's the next big suit Iron Man's gonna have? He had the Hulkbuster. He's
That's
gonna
right.
have like some like Asgardian guard like big suit thing. I don't know.
That's true. He did have a Thor Buster suit in the comics, which was
Maybe
made
that's
to
next.
like beat Thor. Yeah,
What
or
the
like
heck?
beat like beings of Thor's caliber. So yeah, probably that.
This is weird. It's getting weird.
It's
getting weird.
dude,
Yeah, like what do
it's
you
so
think is
weird.
gonna happen with like where are they going next after Thanos?
I have no idea, dude.
Like,
I really don't
Galactus.
know.
Because I feel like that was like
Galactus.
Thanos is like from what I hear is like the top stuff. Like
Yeah,
the top
he's like-
stock when it comes to like the Marvel comic stuff.
Oh yeah, he's
And
one
like
of the
most
top
of,
five.
most of the stuff after that, it just gets crazy. Like,
Oh yeah.
the power levels start getting insane,
There's
and then it's just
yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, and then
Yeah, exactly.
There's like this website that I use. Like it's the comic book database,
Oh yeah.
and they have like a list of like their rankings and stuff like that based on power.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, Thanos isn't really that high. They have him with the Infinity Stones, and they have him without it for like
yeah,
perspective.
I bet without
Yeah.
he's like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not that great, but like he's only like 70, and like some of the people get up to like
Like-
300.
Like the Living Tribunal is probably
oh,
on there.
insane,
and, like,
insane.
the dude has like 3 faces and he's like a giant. It's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go into the Marvel cosmic side of things, it just gets fucking crazy.
And all of them are Fantastic Four villains, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
super weird to me
Yeah.
because they're not even that strong.
I know, right? They're arguably like the goofiest like heroes.
They got science.
That's
They
true.
have science.
That's true.
That's about
Science.
all
But
they
yeah,
have.
Galactus would be a great place to go after
That would be
Thanos.
sick.
That would be sick. Oh my
What
god.
does he want to do? He wants
Yeah, 'cause-
to eat Earth.
Pretty much.
Because they're not stopping. Like
Oh no.
the gravy train is gonna keep rolling.
No,
Like, there's no.
no way.
No.
Like,
They're gonna drive this shit
fucking
into
way.
the ground.
they would be
Like,
the dumbest like studio on the face of the earth if they just stopped. They'd be like, nah. And I mean, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing any signs of it slowing down.
No, I mean,
Like-
every movie only gets bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I bet Endgame breaks all the records again.
Oh yeah, they projected that its opening weekend is going to be $800 million.
That's
Its
insanity.
opening weekend.
Well,
That's
Just like
insane.
domestically, yeah.
Yeah.
just domestically?
yeah,
Whoa.
Well, they never count the China numbers until like it comes out over there. Like it comes out like weeks late.
dude.
Mm,
That's what they're
Yeah.
saying.
That's when the real money hits. Is when it hits China.
yeah, no, that's true. 'Cause
Like I'm pretty sure the DC cinematic universe only exists because of China.
yeah,
That's
no, you're
true.
100% right.
Or like Venom, the only reason
Yeah.
Venom was a success is
Was
because of China.
Yeah, it made so much bank over there.
Yeah, I know. Almost $1 billion. It made almost $1 billion because of China. That's
a lot of
crazy.
people in China.
And they're not even big robots. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know, but they're like monsters, so it's like kaiju sort of
Yeah.
mentality with like Venom
That's what
probably.
they like.
Yes. So yeah. So anyway, Eternals though, I'm still
Cool.
friggin' excited. I mean, it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. It's only getting nuttier from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited,
Plus, I don't know anything about them, so that'll be.
and I can't wait to see
Cool.
Angelina Jolie, just in general.
Yeah, when's the last time anyone saw her?
Uh,
I feel like she's taking
behind
like
the camera?
She
Yeah,
she does
true.
like a lot of behind the camera stuff now.
Yeah, she's done directing. I think she's doing a Maleficent sequel. I could be wrong though. I have no
didn't see
idea.
The first one.
Yeah, but Maleficent was probably the last thing she acted in, wasn't it?
Something like that.
At least the last big thing.
Big thing, yeah, maybe.
We have the internet for a reason.
I know she did that movie. I heard it was terrible. She did it with Brad Pitt, her husband at the time. It was like To the Sea or something like that, and it was just like a really kind of dramatic, independent thing. Like they shot it at like their beach house, and it was
That doesn't
just,
surprise me. Yeah, they're just like,
Yeah.
we have this, we have fucking
yeah,
money, and we're just
exactly.
gonna
Let's
make
just
this
make
movie.
a movie.
Gotta love when you click on filmography and it takes you to a link of the filmography.
Yeah,
So good.
go to Wikipedia. It's like filmography.
Kung Fu Panda 3. Yeah, you're right, by the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a couple things in Maleficent. But,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, Angelina
Cool.
Jolie.
And that's it. Is that all the news?
That's all the news.
That's right.
That's all we got.
That's the quickest.
Might be a
news
short
segment-
episode, but we'll see.
segment ever. Oh, it might be a long episode. We know.
Oh
we
yeah,
don't
that's
know
true.
yet.
That's true.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
So, scary stories to tell in the dark.
Oh yeah, we're jumping right into trailers.
Yeah, because I got the.
Oh, that's right. We
Yeah.
don't do the
I
noises.
mean, we can do it
anymore.
right now if you want to join
wanna-
in. Trailer time.
That's not what it is, but I like it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, scary stories to tell in the dark.
It
So it looks like they are kind of doing a Goosebumps thing and just combining all the
Yeah,
stories into one. So.
It's like literally everything we kind of saw from those teasers kind of like threaded together.
Yeah, pretty much. And it does look like it's kind of a period piece as well. Remember I said, like, in the last review, I was like, yeah, that girl looks like she's dressed from, like, the 50s. You know? The spiders in her face and stuff like that. And it kind of looks like it's taking place, I think they said, like, the 70s or 60s or something? Or something like that. Have you read any,
I've not read any of it. I know of all the books.
Yeah.
I don't know. The scene in the trailer when there was a spider interface, I was not okay with that.
Yeah.
It looked like a zip popping video, and
Yeah.
I'm offended by those.
Yeah, see, that was the one story I actually did read from the books, because those books would always just be, like, in the elementary school, like...
Yeah, I
classroom.
remember seeing them all the time.
Yeah, and, like, I wouldn't read all the stories, but that was the one, for some reason, I read, like, fully, and I was like, this isn't scary. But then seeing it in live action, you're like, yeah, this is pretty fucked.
It's not scary. It's just like, ugh,
It's like,
it
ugh,
hurts my
gross.
body.
It shakes my core.
So here's the thing, though. It's like, this is weird, because it's like a kid's book, but translated, it becomes, like, kind of more gruesome. It's like, do you think that, what rating do you think this is going to be? Do you think it's going to be PG-13?
PG-13.
That's kind of what I think.
Yeah, I think they're going to try for that.
Yeah. That's what I think,
Opens
too.
up to a larger audience.
Yes, very true. Plus, like, the kids who grew up with that book.
I mean, they're all adults, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know how popular those books are anymore, like
That's
in
true.
elementary school.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I have no idea.
Like, do kids still read, like, Goosebumps?
I honestly don't
Do they
know.
even make Goosebumps anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was like the one like step above Goosebumps, but not by much though.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, but it looks kind of creepy. Guillermo del Toro's producing it, and I can't remember the director, but they say he's acclaimed.
Okay.
But you know, of some kind. So.
I don't know him.
Oh, you know what he did? He did the autopsy of Jane Doe. I think he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we were watching the trailer, like I didn't even see the director's name. I just saw Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah,
it was before it. I think it was like.
It was like some crazy. You want to look that up? Was it Autopsy of Jane Doe? Or I might be thinking of Disappearance of Eleanor Rigby or something like that.
Which is a good movie. I like that movie.
It might be that movie then, the one he did.
Scariest. Oh my god, I hate this phone.
Scary stories.
Scary stories to tell.
Would you guys think it looks scary? Think do you like the atmosphere? Like it kind of gives me like.
Not really.
Kind of gives me like an It vibe, a little bit.
It looks all right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised how many the zombie monster things they showed. Like they showed a lot of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how many they're going to be in the movie, but they showed like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't really pronounce his name, but I'm gonna try. Andre Overadol.
Overadol. Because it's got like a slash through the O, so you're like, what?
Yeah, Andre Overdahl.
Overdahl. What?
I don't know.
What was it? What movies did he do again?
Yeah, you were right. The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Autopsy
and
of
Troll
Jane-
Hunter.
And Troll Hunter. Okay. Have you seen any of those?
I've not.
Have you?
I've not.
I've not either.
I'm familiar with them though. Apparently they have like a kind of a big cult following.
Okay, so that's why they put Acclaimed on there.
Yeah.
All right, sounds about right.
I don't know. It seems kind of like a kid friendly horror movie. I don't know.
But it's not a bad thing sometimes. You know? It's good to introduce like the kiddies to the horror.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really doing much for me.
But some
a
of the
grown man myself.
Yeah. I do like some of the designs of the monsters though. They look pretty cool.
Yeah,
they look very classic. Like like straight up like pale gray skin, hunkering around.
I kind of wish they had like more of the Del Toro look to them, like the Pan's Labyrinth look to them.
Yeah, but he's just the producer.
Yeah.
He's busy doing other shit probably.
I just wonder how all these monsters are gonna like be threaded into one story, because when the Super Bowl teaser came out, we're like, oh, this might be an anthology. You know, because that's like what the book was. It was just different stories.
Yeah.
But now it seems like they're threading them all together. It's like, how are they going to pull this off?
What a weird line. The stories read you. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Clearly the movie takes place in Russia.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
dude,
Soviet Union.
Classic. Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, it's going to be strange. I have no idea. I don't know what they're
It
gonna
could
do.
go either way.
Are they just gonna like rip off Goosebumps entirely and just read the book and then like all the book like comes alive? I don't know.
I
don't know. R.L. Stein better have a cameo. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, in the new cinematic universe, he's showing up
Yeah,
everywhere.
exactly. The Goosebumps Scary Stories cinematic universe.
I'm ready.
That would not fit.
Everything's a cinematic universe nowadays, guys.
That's true, including the one we'll talk about later. But let's talk about the Tomorrow Man. Let's talk about Tomorrow.
I like John Lithgow.
I like John Lithgow too. You know what this kind of gives me like the similar vibes of is what's The Old Man and the Gun.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too.
It just, I don't know, it reminds me of that.
Kind of slow, kind of
old-fashioned, kind of quaint.
Yeah.
Have you seen Old Man and the Gun?
I've not.
It's a pretty good movie.
Pretty good movie.
And this kind of gives me that vibe. But so I feel like this could be a good movie, but I don't know. The trailer didn't grab me.
Yeah, same.
You know,
he was saying it just gave away too much. He's like, that's
the
entire movie.
Yeah, like in the trailer, he like falls over and clearly has a heart attack.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
well,
I
mean, that's clearly the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you.
She probably like put the law down and he fucked up and.
I thought the exact same thing.
They even gave the theme away, like you keep thinking about the tomorrow, but I'm here now.
Yeah, they just they basically just name dropped the movie.
Yeah, that's
in the trailer.
I'm here tomorrow, man.
Yeah, like basically.
Oh, shaking my head.
I don't know. I like John Lithgow. The weird thing about him though is like every time I see him in anything, I just think Dexter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm waiting for him to pull out like the axe pick or something like that. And start...
Oh boy.
John Lithgow was great.
He was the best villain in Dexter, and there were some pretty good villains, but he was the best by far.
Oh dang. I need to check that show out. I hear that show's amazing.
Just don't watch the ending.
Yeah, I hear the ending.
Make up your own ending.
Yeah, make up your own ending.
Yeah, I hear the last season is terrible, just in general.
Yeah, just completely disregarded all character development and stuff like that. They actually just reverted all of his.
Yeah, that's because they changed showrunners. They changed showrunners to Scott Buck, and I know that because Scott Buck did Iron Fist season 1.
Ooh.
So he was widely known as the guy who ruined Dexter.
Okay.
So people were like, "Why is he doing Iron Fist? Why does this guy still have a job?" Blah 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 blah. You know. And then he ruined Iron Fist. Yeah, Iron Fist was terrible. So.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's crazy. Tomorrow, man, is he he's like a doomsday prepper and
yeah, he's a prepper.
Yeah.
And what a romantic scene where he takes her down and she's like, "You did all this," and then he kisses her. I was like. Yeah, that's really.
That's weird.
He's showing the trust.
My groins are not fucking.
Yeah. That's fucking weird, man.
Yeah. He only shows the prepper to the ones he trusts the most.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's just her. It sounds like everyone else in their lives are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing is because it's an old person love story.
Yeah, that's true.
So in the trailer she talks about I lost my daughter and she was everything and it's yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
they're both lonely old people.
Preparation for disaster is means for passion.
Now here's a twist: what if the end of the world does happen at the end of the film?
I'd be all about it. If that happened, I'd be in. I'd be in. Like at the end, the apocalypse happens. Yeah. And they just open the door and it's just Mad Max Fury Road outside.
Oh my, that would be sick. Okay,
that's the last scene of the movie.
I'm so glad they're not showing that in the trailer.
Yeah, that would bring the whole movie to another level to me. That would add a star.
That would add stars for people like us, but everybody else.
Oh, everyone else would be
would hate it.
Yeah, everyone else would be like, that ruined the film.
Yeah, my grandparents would stand up and leave.
Well, luckily it's the end of the movie, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they get up right before the credits,
lose.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it would be even better if that Doomsday scene was just kind of a side note, it wasn't a major part of his character. He's like, yeah, I'm just a prepper or whatever, and then it's just never mentioned until the very, very end. And the world just blows up, and there's zombies.
I forgot to tell you, it's actually I've been keeping track of the tremors in the earth and stuff, and actually the world is going to come to an end very soon.
Oh yeah,
in 5 minutes.
Oh really?
He's like, oh, she's like, oh shit, that sucks.
Oh man, well,
glad you've prepped.
Might as well, might as well have sex. I mean,
gotta go out with a bang.
Gotta go out with a bang. And then afterwards, she's like, we're still here. He's like, oh yeah, it turns out the world's not gonna end. Never mind.
Baited.
Credits.
Oh boy.
Oh man, that's bad.
I guess my science was off.
Isn't John Lithgow gonna be in Pet Sematary?
Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah, pretty sick. He's got some range on the guy. Yeah. He's got a very noticeable impression too, but I can't pinpoint it. You know.
I don't know.
He's great. He's got great diction. When he talks, every word is very crisp.
Yes. crisp and clean.
That's a theater actor for you.
Probably, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. All right, guys, want to talk about the next trailer here?
Yeah.
Annabelle Comes Home.
Yay.
AKA Annabelle 3.
He didn't even know that.
I didn't even know
Oh,
there was.
yeah.
I thought it was the second one. I didn't even know there was.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know there was already 2 out.
Oh, yeah. The second one's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's what Kettle was saying.
The second one's directed by David F. Sandberg, who just did Shazam. And he also did Lights Out. So that's pretty good. This one is a first-time director. Annabelle Comes Home. It's directed by the guy who wrote Annabelle 1 and 2, I think. Let me look this up, because I don't want to...
Just to clarify, when I said that it was good, I didn't actually see it. I was saying that you said it was good.
It is good, yeah. It's a good horror film. It's actually a prequel to the first one. So,
Is this one? Do we know where this one sits in the chronology?
oh, yeah, because, you see Ed and Lorraine Warren in the trailer. So I'm thinking, kind of, after the first one.
Ah, okay.
I'm guessing. But I actually haven't seen the first one. It's weird. I haven't seen the Annabelle trilogy, I guess you could call it.
Because it got dumped on.
Yes,
It was
yes,
real
it
bad,
did.
apparently.
Yes, it did. All right, we'll look it up here. But, we see the Warrens in the trailer. The Warrens seem to actually be kind of like a bigger part of this movie,
Which is funny because they really weren't in it that much for the trailer.
No, they weren't. So, it's interesting to see them back, though. Have you seen any of the Conjuring movies?
Yeah, I saw the first one.
Okay, the first one's really good. The second one's also really good. And then the first Annabelle I hear is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one was really
And
good.
then we have the Nun,
The
too.
Nun, too, which was, not good. Or, very mediocre.
I remember
rather.
wanting to go see that movie despite it looking stupid, and I just never went.
Yeah, it was very mediocre. So yeah, Gary Doberman is directing this. That's what it is. And let's see what he's written. He's mostly a writer, and he wrote just a lot of things. Holy crap. So yeah, he wrote It.
Okay.
It Chapter 2 coming out.
Okay.
But he did write The Nun. But he also wrote Annabelle Creation.
Okay.
And Annabelle. And In the Spider's Web. Never heard of that. And Wolves at the Door. He's written a lot of stuff. A lot of horror stuff, so.
So now he's taking a stab at directing.
Now he's taking a stab at directing. This is his debut. Annabelle Comes Home, so.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I think every single one of those movies, they never really look appealing to me.
Yeah.
And it can go either way. I did enjoy The Conjuring, but I don't think the trailers are indicative of what the final product's gonna be.
That's true. There's a lot of jump scares in this trailer, so I don't know if that's going to be what the movie is.
Very, very weak jump scares.
Yeah, very weak. Even the sound was very off. It was just okay. The only part of the trailer that really kind of creeped me out was when she was not even the jump scare part. The jump scare part wasn't scary.
Yeah,
it was when she opened the thing and the doll was just laying on her lap.
Yeah,
I was like, okay,
and then
that's
she goes back, and then you're
she goes back.
Well, then it's gonna show up again once she puts the covers down or whatever. So you're thinking about it, but what it actually was is kind of lame.
Yeah, I was like,
it's always where is it gonna come from?
Wasn't it a spirit comes up over the doll and
Yeah, but it's why? It should never be where your attention is already directed.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yes. So, I don't know. How many Conjuring movies have you seen?
Just The Conjuring.
Just The Conjuring?
Just The Conjuring.
Not even The Conjuring 2?
I haven't yet. It's on my list. I'll watch it.
Yeah, The Conjuring 2 is really good. You guys should check it out. My favorite, Conjuring 2, and then Annabelle 2 are really good. Mm-hmm. So they've had 3, good ones, 2 bad ones. So I guess this one's going to, tip the scale.
Yeah.
But Curse of La Llorona too apparently now is part of the.
Yeah.
That's also part of the universe now. Which
there's this horror movie that came they have been showing trailers for it or whatever, and out of nowhere they're just this is gonna be in the Annabelle or the Conjuring universe.
Out of
really?
nowhere, they didn't advertise it in the trailers at all. Nothing, and then all of a sudden they just released a statement. They're like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be part of that."
That
universe.
sounds like some corporate speak to me.
Oh yeah. That's a complete afterthought. They're
Yeah.
you know what they see? They see a horror film that's gonna flop, so they're like, okay, let's just tell people it's in the Conjuring universe. That way they'll see it.
And then afterwards, if it fails and nobody likes it, we can just say that we changed our mind or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like the premise of this movie is the 2 adults in the house amasses collection of terrible, awful, like occult, arcane shit.
Yeah, it's like Area 51.
Yeah.
And like, I don't get why you'd let kids just walk around that house.
Yeah,
it's like keeping your guns unlocked.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's 100%.
Like both the parents look very upset when they realize that they've like touched the doll.
Yeah, right.
And it shocks me.
Dude, you just discovered like what the actual meaning of this movie is.
Yeah,
right. Lock your guns up.
Lock your guns up.
Yeah, it's like the kids are walking around with like the 6-shooter.
Annabelle's a freaking allegory for gun control.
Yeah,
like,
that's the real message.
Holy shit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're like, I opened it. It's like, no shit, you opened it. You're a kid running around and you see a doll.
Yep.
Like what?
And it says don't touch.
Yeah, it says don't open.
She don't even touch it in the trailer though.
Yeah, she doesn't. That's true.
Yeah, it just kind of disappears.
Yeah,
right?
like don't look at this thing.
Yeah,
Do what the sticker says.
Just like,
don't make eye contact.
You already looked at it. You fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And
that room looked cool though. I like the set design in that room.
Yeah,
that singular room.
That's kind of carried over from the Conjuring, though. You know.
Yep.
So, again, I'm rooting for it, but I don't know. And again, because he's like a first time director, there's not a lot of style to the movie. It just kind of seems very like everything's sort of handheld. There's not a lot of like James Wan brought like a really distinct kind of visual flair to the Conjuring movies. It's just because it's James Wan. You know, but this guy.
Yeah, the camera moved all over the place. Every time like something moved in the room or whatever, like he would move with it or whatever. Mm-hmm. And this one just kind of feels stationary.
Wasn't there like a weird whisper like that she would hear, like, "Can I play with your doll?" or something like that?
Yeah.
There's like the little girl outside like tapping the window, and she's clearly like leaving like a bloody fingerprint when she's tapping it.
Yeah.
And like, oh, that's
okay.
That's weird.
Yeah. I'm like, all right. It's in broad daylight too, which is like okay.
Interesting choice.
I mean, I wouldn't open the door if there was a little girl tapping on the window.
Yeah, I'd be like
at like midnight. I would look out the window to see and I'd see her. And be like, I'm in a horror movie. I need to back out.
Oh, let me just.
I'll point out the Annabelle doll and.
Yeah, right. I have a doll for you to play with. Here you go.
Yep, take that.
Oh my god, fantastic.
So.
On the fence.
On the fence.
On the fence. On the spiky, very painful fence. You know, but on the other side of that fence is like a bunch of naked supermodels.
Damn.
But on the other side of that fence is like a pool of acid.
Damn, I'd risk it.
Would you risk it all predicated upon this movie being good?
I'd actually.
Do I become the Joker if I fall in that pit of acid?
I'd actually like to fall in the pit of acid. That's the one I'm risking it for.
That's true.
Don't leave now. The movie's about to come on.
Excuse me.
Hey, theater. What do you do when you get stuck on a movie line with a guy like this behind you?
Wait a minute. Why can't I
just
give my
maddening.
opinion? This is a free country.
Are you ready for recently seen, baby?
Oh, recently seen.
Recently seen. That's right. What have you seen, Jake?
Recently seen on my end. What have I recently? Oh, well, I just did a rewatch of one of the movies that's going to be on the list.
Okay.
Last night, and then so I'll mention that when we get there. Love the movie still. I had to buy it again on Blu-ray.
Okay.
Because I had it on DVD for years.
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
And then other than that, what's the most recent thing? I don't know. I don't go to the movie theater a lot anymore.
No, it's all good.
When I get dragged there, I go.
Why don't you drag him more often, T-Kettle?
I'm a bad person.
This guy.
Sorry.
Why are we friends with this guy, Jake?
I don't know.
He always hits me with the thanks for the invite.
Thanks for the invite, yeah.
Yeah, that's the classic meme around here. But it's like I can't invite him sometimes. So like I saw like Us this week.
Yeah.
And he would have had to have gone to work anyway. So
yeah, I work an off shift. I work
Right.
at night, so
it's all good.
Sometimes going to see movies is a little weird.
So you didn't see Us with him?
No, I wanted to though.
Thanks
for the invite, dude.
Thanks for the invite. I knew it was coming.
I mean, did you like it, Kettle? Like,
well, should we just get into it? Should we just get into it?
Fuck it. Let's
we
just
both
get
saw
into
it. Okay,
you
so
think about what you.
What was your prediction for me?
Okay, well, I mean, I said I think we'd be on the same page, and I think this movie's okay.
I think this movie is also okay.
Yeah. I like how you're like. I think it is.
Also okay. Exactly.
I like it.
It's a misdirect.
I like it. Yeah, it was just.
It was. There was some good moments here and there. It's kind of because I haven't seen it in a couple days.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to I was much more fresh on it a little bit ago. But one thing I really thought, one thing I liked about the film was I liked the performances and I liked some of the tension and some of the scares. But I feel like some of the tension was ruined by some of the performances. Including, should we just say, okay.
The dad.
Yes.
The dad was awful.
Yes.
He ruined most of the movie for me.
You know who I also thought was awful, and you might disagree with this, though?
What?
I thought Lupita Nyong'o was great as one of the roles. Because there's a really tension-filled scene that happens, right? I won't spoil it for you. And then it's like, okay, like, this shit is like, okay, shit's going down. Like, okay, this movie's getting good now, right? And it's all, like, scary and freaky. And then, like, the clones come in, and she's like, I don't know what's happening.
She worked, like, to try to get, like, this, it's like, I don't know if it's, like, a disorder or something like that, but, like, when people, like, force, like, their voice out or whatever, like against their own will or something like that. It's like some sort of thing that people do, and apparently like people, I saw this on in the break room at work on the news. People were talking about it because although everyone thought this was like scary or whatever, it was like a creepy voice, but the people that also like have that, they were like, no, thanks for using that. Like they were offended by it. I'm like, what? Like,
oh,
who gives
okay.
a shit? Like,
yeah,
whatever.
no, see, like, I didn't think it was scary. I thought
I laughed.
I thought it completely took me out of the moment.
Yeah.
It completely took me out of that tension moment, and I'm like, okay, this is funny.
People were laughing in the theater.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but there are some, like, good elements of this movie, but one thing I also didn't appreciate, I think the whole movie, like, the movie as a whole is very uneven.
Yes,
you know, especially with the humor. I feel like some of it worked, but a lot of it really didn't.
It's like, I don't know if he's trying to make it funny, but he's got to realize that like
he can't distance himself from his comedic roots.
He really can't. Like he needs to watch more horror movies because like when Lupita gets out of the car and then the dad's like, oh, she got out of the car. My wife is leaving the car and she's gone. Like the way he did it, like why wouldn't he be like, where are you going? And like why aren't you going to help her or something like that? Like I don't know. Like there's no, if the characters aren't realizing that this is a dangerous situation, like this is critical, then the audience isn't going to realize that.
They stop the movie to do these weird comic routines. Like I won't spoil it. This isn't much of a spoiler, but there's a part where they're trying to get away in a car.
Yeah.
And they stop the movie to do like this comedy routine, like, I should drive. No, I should drive. I killed more people than you. It's like, no, technically I killed one more than you if you think about this person. And I'm like
it's always like the worst timing.
Yeah.
And then like again about the whole thing where like they're not taking the situation seriously. Like the dad's like, we should set up traps, like kind of like a Home Alone thing, and the daughter's like, what's Home Alone?
What's Home Alone?
And he's like, you haven't seen Home Alone? Like, why are you doing this right now?
Yeah.
I mean, if they haven't, I'd also ask the question like, you haven't seen Home Alone? Like, what the
hell? It is weird, but it just it's weird because there's literally a dead body just sitting in front of them, and they don't even like acknowledge it. Like they're just like chilling, like having this conversation, and I'm like, is this supposed to be funny? I'm confused. Like I'm so confused, and they like. I don't want to spoil it, but like there's a certain character that dies, or characters even. I'll leave it vague, and they're supposed to like there's supposed to be an emotional attachment to these characters, and they don't even display that emotional attachment. Like, oh, you want to ask them? Well, they're right here.
Yeah.
Like they're just like laying on the ground dead. I'm like, this. I don't understand this humor thing. Like it was weird to me.
It wasn't even humor to me. I mean, it was just like kind of awkward and dorky, especially with the dad.
Some of the decisions too were very horror tropey. I also felt like, and just it was odd to me. Just some of like the minor plot holes. Like there's this one thing where the wife is getting attacked, right, in a house, open doors. They literally just left this house, and she had to go back in for some reason, and then she gets attacked again. She's screaming, top of her lungs, right? No one helps her. Like they're right outside, but it's like, are you telling me they couldn't hear her screaming and no one came in to help? Like that's stupid. I know it's kind of a minor nitpick, but it's just like dumb to me.
I wanna like praise the film on a couple.
Yeah. Let's talk about some things we like.
In comparison to Get Out, this movie, it's a very much more ambitious and creative execution of the film.
I liked the symbolism, and I liked the kind of the ambiguity of it.
I liked it to a degree, but I think that when he came out and said what this movie's about, it was kind of like checking your work, because you have this equation and he gave you the answers. Now you just have to check your work, because like I feel like everything was so easy to figure out because of what he gave us.
Well, the thing is that, you know what's weird to me is he goes on these really, really long exposition-y monologues sometimes, like these characters, but they don't really explain much of like what's going on. And I'm like, why even have this long-ass exposition monologue when you don't explain like anything?
Well, that's the thing, and some people, I know this is going to frustrate some people, like Mark, when we saw it together, him and Jesse, our other friend, were talking about this movie, and they were like trying to get down to the mechanics of it all, like how does it work, like where did these people come from type thing, and it's like that's not the point of it. But it's going to frustrate people that are looking for answers. Right.
And I'm not necessarily looking for answers. I just don't like how they went on these whole monologues. Like, really long monologues, like, explaining it, like, what happened. But it didn't really explain anything, so now you're just wasting my time.
I also didn't really get a goal out of it either.
Yeah, me neither. And I also feel like, again, like, I'm trying not to spoil it here, but, like, you saw in the trailer that, like, all the clones are, like, in, like, this basement area. I'm not going to say where that basement area is or whatever. Why couldn't anyone escape from that area?
Good question.
Like, why couldn't they?
Good question.
It was literally just like a door. I'm like...
You want to know the answer?
What?
They could.
But they chose not? Why?
Because it's not fully thought out.
It's exactly.
It's not fully out. He's got a lot of really great ideas in here, but like he
does,
squanders them.
I like the symbolism, like the whole scissors thing was like really cool.
Yeah.
And, like,
I really like his visual style. Comparatively, like it's more consistent than Get Out. I think Get Out has like one big scene that everybody praises, but this one has, I feel like, a lot more to look at.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like this movie, I have my problems with it, but I was never bored with it necessarily, and I was entertained like throughout. And I really appreciate that there wasn't much of a social message, like much of like a political angle to the film. At least not like in your face, you know. It wasn't in your face if there was one, you know.
I mean, I think there definitely was one, but I don't think. Yeah, I think you're right. It's not in your face,
but at least it's different than Get Out, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So another thing, I know you don't. It sounds like you don't really care for like the ending or whatever.
I don't mind the ending,
but
like well, the visual, which part of the ending?
The visual design of like the ending was really cool.
Oh, it was cool. Yeah. That was cool. Here's one thing though. We got to tread lightly on this. What did you think of the twist? Like the there's like a twist in like the last like 30 seconds of this film.
Okay, I like that.
But do you though? Because
I don't know. You're right. Sometimes
I thought it was very unnecessary because it didn't add anything.
I saw it coming like probably like 30 minutes before the movie ended.
It adds a little something if you think about it, like just like a couple reasons. Like,
I think it does add something to it, but it's not like.
But I feel like it wasn't necessary. Like I feel like you could have had a movie without that twist. And then the movie would have been the exact same, you know.
Sure.
So
I mean, I kind of felt like it was implied, so I was like,
yeah. So doesn't that mean the twist fails though? If you can.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it a twist.
I mean, I would call it a twist because I didn't see it coming at all.
Okay.
But I just felt like that didn't really add anything, and it kind of leaves a lot of holes too in the plot. I'm like, but I was just like confused. Like, there's a lot of holes in this movie if you really start to think about it. And start to dive deep into the psychology of it, or like the plot of it, you're like, that doesn't make sense. Why didn't this happen? What's going on? You know?
Yeah.
There's even a part where it's sort of implied that like the normal humans can control what the clones are doing, but it's never mentioned again. Like there's one part where he goes like this, and then the clone does that at the same time. So it's like, are you guys connected somehow? But then it just never happens again.
It's messy.
An ambitious film?
Ambitious film, yeah.
For sure. And I think, you know, it's got some good tension.
Some good tension, some good cinematography.
Yeah, for sure.
Decent scares. And I was entertained. I wasn't bored, but it's not...
It's not great.
It's not great.
It sounds like with Get Out, it's a much more, cohesive... Yeah. Well, I don't even know if it's safe. Like, in the context of, like, the world after Get Out, like the way movies are after it, then yeah.
I guess what I mean, it's safe in the sense that, like, the story beats are pretty, like, typical.
Yeah.
Kind of like Home Invasion-esque, like, typical Home Invasion-esque? Or are you talking about Us is safe or Get Out is safe?
I'm talking Get Out. In this movie, like, the Home Invasion thing happens, like, 30 minutes
That's
into
true,
the movie.
yeah.
And the movie's 2 hours long, so I'm like, where are they going to go with this? Because there's no way that they're going to make this work for an hour and a half.
Yeah, and it's not a home invasion movie.
And I think the direction that it does take is it's interesting.
But do you think Jordan Peele should, like, with his next movie, because there's gonna be a next movie? Do you think his next movie he should try to keep pushing like the ambitious angle, or do you think he should rein it in like for the next movie.
I think he should.
Like I think
spend a little bit more time. I think I like where he was going with
I like
us.
the ambition. I just think he needs to add more meat to it. He needs to develop it more.
Yeah,
and flesh it out.
I agree because 2 years after Get Out, like that, it could wait a little bit longer. He could wait like another year.
Yeah, I feel like if he just like wrote it a little more, kind of added, put more time into it.
Plus, it might not even be his movie that he makes next, is because his company. Monkey Paw Productions was taking unsolicited scripts.
That's true.
So he might just end up making somebody else's movie and just direct it, not write it.
That's true, and that might be a good thing. That happens a lot.
That might work for him.
That worked for Ridley Scott finally. Like Ridley Scott had like a decline in his quality of work until The Martian, and that was the first movie he directed that he didn't write in a long time.
Yeah, it's true.
It was real good.
Yeah, and that was a good one. That was like, in my opinion, his first good movie in years. And it's because he didn't direct it. Or I mean, didn't write it.
Yeah.
So sometimes that just needs to happen.
For sure.
I don't know if Jordan Peele is there yet, but I feel like his next... I don't even know what he's going to do with his next film. Is he going to do another horror, or does he think he wants to branch out?
I don't know. Mm-hmm. He's kind of on the warpath for horror. Like he wants to kind of sit with that.
Yeah, and it's like horror comedy. Like it's just there was more comedy in this film than Get Out almost. I would say.
I said, I don't find it fun. Like it wasn't funny to me.
No, it took you out of the scary moments.
Really
it was intended to be funny, but it didn't succeed at being funny.
Oh boy.
The whole even some of the jokes I laughed at I didn't like. Like I laughed at the fuck the police joke. But I was like, that was just the wrong time to do that. I was like, that just now I'm not scared at all.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
And that went on for way too long too. So if you see the film,
I'm still gonna go see it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm always really interested in watching his movies. I think he puts he puts a spotlight on actors and on people and on just the people of color community that like most of Hollywood doesn't pay attention to, which is why I think like stuff like Get Out is so like resoundingly successful.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm always like, and he's going a really interesting place. Like he was a comedy sketch artist for like years on TV, and now he's like diving into this horror stuff. So I'm always interested to see where he's going.
He's going to do a classic anthology series.
Yeah,
hosting Twilight.
Yeah, that's super cool.
He has an odd career if you think about it. Like you said, it's very.
Yeah, he's gone. He's like he's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like Comedy Central, like SNL, like all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like the guy, but like I'm just all right on this film. I give it like a low 6.
I gave it a 3 out of 5. I'm the same thing as you. Like,
well, I called it.
Sounds like a minor misstep, but interesting nonetheless.
It's like a sophomore slump. I wouldn't even say it's like a miss completely. It's just like I'm not a huge fan of Get Out. I'll be real with you. I'm not huge on that film as everyone else is, but just going by like the general consensus, this is definitely a slump down for a lot of people. I think it's a slump up, but that's just
which is funny because like Rotten Tomatoes, when it first came out on there, it was like he's finally like perfected the sophomore film, like the curse of the sophomore film or whatever. It's like,
It depends though, because a lot of people praise Get Out and love Get Out. I'm not one of those people really. So I think it's better than Get Out personally, but general consensus is that it's not as good as Get Out.
I don't think it's as good as Get Out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it's more ambitious. It should probably be, but I don't know. Too many mistakes.
Yeah, sometimes like at ambitious work, like you end up missing on the technical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, for sure.
Sounds like put it in the oven for a little bit longer, and it'll turn out a little better.
Yeah, let it cook a little more.
Make it a little more golden brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never order a pizza.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, whenever I'm ordering pizza, it's always well done.
It's an oven joke.
That's still racist.
It's a 350 Fahrenheit joke.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, they're not brown enough. His stars are not brown enough. Damn, T-Kettle.
I hate this.
Damn, T-Kettle.
I'm sitting the next one out.
Oh god. Who wants to go next?
So yeah, I was looking at my phone, like looking at all the stuff I watched recently.
Yeah.
And this movie's kind of old, but I watched not old, but like it came out last year. But I watched it recently again with my dad. He just got it on Blu-ray.
Okay.
And he didn't go to see it in theaters, but First Man.
Oh, okay.
You saw it?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it in theaters.
Oh, that's right.
But I saw it the second time with my dad. his TV's really nice. He's got like 7.1 surround sound in his room.
Oh,
So it was a close enough theater experience.
Okay, cool.
And that movie's still really good.
It is good.
So good.
I still really like that movie.
It really lingers with you.
Yeah. Man, fucking when all his buddies and like the what would be the Apollo
11.
The Apollo 11 like bite it. I'm like, fuck, dude, that shit hurts.
It does.
That movie's still really good. I think the acting in it is also like A+.
Oh yeah, especially from Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling kills it.
Claire Foy too. That's
think
what Neil
does a really good
Armstrong
job.
was really like. Like he was really like secluded.
Really, detached and
stuff like that. He would always like bottle up his feelings and stuff like that. So it's a great movie.
Yeah, it just reinforced that I really like that movie. Like seeing it a second time.
It really lingers with you too after it ends. I remember when I first saw it, I gave it like a 3.5. You know, I was like 3.5 out of 5. I was like, oh, this is good. But then after thinking about it, I was like, damn, I'm still thinking about this movie. So I boosted my rating. I was like, damn, this is really good.
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
Mm-hmm.
When a film never leaves you. But when I was in Florida, my mom was trying to get me to go see that Apollo documentary.
Oh yeah.
I think it would have been a really cool companion piece to see like actual Neil Armstrong.
Yeah.
And kind of compare the two versions of him.
See him I would like see it in like 70mm would be really cool.
Oh yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
But just to see how Ryan Gosling did versus like him as an actual person.
That's true. Yeah. That's really cool.
Didn't happen though.
So what would you give it? Like what would your rating be?
Like I don't do ratings that often. I used to do them all the time. I don't know, like probably like a 4 or 4.5 out of 5.
Nice.
Star. Like I really like that movie.
All right.
But I'm a sucker for space, like anything. Like I love sci-fi.
Oh yeah.
It's like probably my favorite
Me
thing
too.
to like watch.
I'm on a huge like astronomy kick right now. Like for some reason, like I'm just looking up a bunch of stuff about space and stuff. I love it.
Great. When you like the scale of it is like always the thing that like I have a hard time like wrapping my brain around.
Yeah.
Like it's
infinite almost. It's like
like it like our brains aren't designed to do that.
Right.
But it's always really interesting and like obviously watching like the moon landing, it looked really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was cool. I like the way he like you said did the 60mm, 35mm, and IMAX digital. That's amazing. That was just a really cool thing. He filmed the moon scenes like digitally with IMAX cameras, but then when you're on Earth, you get 16mm and 35mm. You know,
it makes a really good effect. Yeah. I didn't even know that, but now that I think about it, it definitely has like a different look.
Yeah.
Every time and like every area.
Yeah, which is really cool. So.
I wonder where they filmed the moon scene. Like, do you think it's just on a set?
I think they went to the real moon.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, they just went to the real moon.
That's what I thought when I saw it.
No, I'm just.
Yeah, I don't know. Just go into the middle of like the desert or some shit.
Yeah,
that was like a sound stage or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
So,
it looked really good.
Yeah, it did look good. I don't know if it's best special effects one or good, but it's still pretty good.
Kettle, speaking of that, another like sci-fi movie we watched like not too like it was kind of a while ago, but what was that? The guy that was on the space station. You were there too, I think, Niko.
Yeah.
You brought the.
Oh, Love.
Yeah, Love.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was another thing I watched.
That was a minute ago.
Yeah,
that was a minute ago, but like I remember that was like the first time we watched a movie together.
Yeah, that was really like our house sci-fi kind of.
Yeah,
I remember me and you liked it. T-Kettle appreciated it, but didn't necessarily.
Oh my
like
god,
it.
I feel like I'm being ganged up on right now, dude.
Damn
right. That's not the intention. I'm just bringing up like all the like sci-fi I've watched recently.
Open your mouth.
Yeah, that was good too.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was a while ago.
It was good.
Yeah, we covered that on one of the episodes.
Yes, we did.
God, it's about a minute.
Yeah,
episode like 10 or something.
Yeah, it was a lot. Now? We're on like 29 right now. So.
Boy, dude.
Yeah, it's been
grinding away. Yeah.
We're gonna be doing.
You guys are doing great.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some special shit when we hit some milestones.
Yeah. I was hanging out with my friend yesterday because he was helping me with the wedding shoot. And he was like, "I admire your consistency with your videos."
That's how you get it, man. You gotta put videos out all the time.
Yep.
I really liked you guys' Oscar watch.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even watch the Oscars with it. I was just at work and I had nothing else to listen to. I was like, I'm gonna listen to this like 6-hour thing.
Yeah, exactly. That was funny to me because I wasn't expecting that to do that well. Just because, you're not watching the Oscars with us, you're just listening to us.
I was just listening to it, yeah.
And, like, that actually has, like, compared with some of our other videos, that has a lot more views than some of our other videos.
It's good.
I was like, wow, okay.
Most of it's me. I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Every time I just go right to the end and I'm just like, I got to show people.
Yeah,
just
great.
lose our shit.
It's great.
It's so funny to me.
It's so funny.
Yeah, it was great.
It is so funny. Speaking of Oscars, I saw Free Solo.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I don't think as I'm in love with it as everyone else. I don't know why. I think, I hate to say this because it's like real, but, because it's going to sound so bad, but
boy.
I know he survives. Because I've seen him in interviews. I've seen him like do press for the movie.
Yeah.
I've seen him like on the internet talk about the movie. So it's like when he's free soloing, I'm just kind of sitting there. And I'm like, I know he makes it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not necessarily on the edge of my seat. I know it's kind of a terrible thing to say because it's like real life, you know? But it's like, I want him to make it, but I didn't have that like edge of my seat tension.
The tension's not there.
The tension's not there because
I can see where you're coming from.
You know?
But like, when it was showing all the people that had died to stuff.
Oh,
like that,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
The risk is definitely real.
Oh, the risk is real.
That's the
for
scary
sure.
part about it.
No, there's a part of me. I was sitting there. I'm like, man, this is crazy. But I wasn't necessarily like on the edge of my seat, like when he was doing it. Like, oh my god,
dude. You know? Did you notice the part what I was talking about when the guy fell and like he like
yeah.
like you didn't know if he could, like what?
Yeah, like he had the parachute or whatever.
Yeah, like last minute the parachute comes out, and I was like, I just witnessed a guy die. Why would they show this to me?
Yeah, but that guy did die though, didn't he?
Yeah, then he died afterwards. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
the heck?
Yeah.
How was the cinematography on it? Like
so
sense of like vertigo.
It was amazing.
Yeah, did it ever make you like feel like goofy in the stomach?
And like the real MVP are the cameramen.
Oh yeah,
like, they're
100%.
so good.
100%. And they could only use like a certain number of cameramen because there's only a few cameramen that know how to rock climb like to that level.
Yeah.
And man a camera.
Yeah, I bet that would be super hard.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, of course, they're not doing it free solo. They're doing it with.
Yeah, they're doing
well,
it.
Yeah, you couldn't like.
Yeah.
But it's
you
like
get these big cameras.
Yeah,
it's
on
still,
your back.
it's like I don't even care. Take the put the rope, like the wires into the equation. Like it's still like scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not a rock climbing's
rough,
spooky thing.
Yeah,
yes.
That's insane. I can't believe like he does that. Like he just risks his life all the time. I kind of wish the movie dived into the psychology.
He's got to be an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
no
or like there's
other
some
way.
type of like void in his brain. Like I wish it dived deeper into the psychology of why he truly feels like he needs to do it. He talks about it all the time. He's like, yeah, I'd rather choose free soloing over marriage or whatever,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
a girlfriend. You know, he always talks about that.
I think you found a lot of that through him and his girlfriend, though.
Yeah, I kind of found him just to be a very unlikable person, though, or is that just me? I feel like, because I feel like he's the type of guy, just by looking at him, I don't want to judge someone by not knowing them, but I feel like just looking at him, I was like, yeah, me and him would not get along in real life. Like, I could just tell.
Maybe. I mean, it seems like he really doesn't experience, like, emotions, like, or empathy or anything like that.
Yeah, well, his father had, like, Asperger's.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like he does.
Yeah,
too.
he has, like, maybe, like, acute Asperger's or something. Like, he just... Maybe that... I wish they dive deeper into that. Like, maybe that's why he just doesn't have that same level of, like, fear or like, you know, I don't know. Because they sort of dive into it because he goes to a doctor and they're like, you need higher things. You need, like, higher moments of adrenaline and, like, stimulation to feel, like, joy. Like
that's probably why he does it then.
Yeah.
Is I bet like putting yourself on the line is like the only thing that like gets him going.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's also just like he like him and his girlfriend, they're just like she's very loving to him. She wants him to like stop and kind of take it
settle down a little bit.
Settle down, and like he just can't seem to do it. I think that's part of the reason. Like there's really nothing keeping him grounded as like because he mentally just can't do it.
And this could just be the fault of the editor. Maybe they didn't show a lot of things, but he kind of treats his girlfriend kind of like shit, you know? Like, not like treats her
They're
bad,
just not...
but like he doesn't reciprocate her love at all. Like he doesn't even say I love you to her. And she's like, yeah, he doesn't say I love you to me, but I know he shows it. And I'm like, nah, you need to...
Yeah, they're not they're not compatible,
no,
which I
not.
think is a part of it, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So, I don't know. I did like it though, still. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. You know, I just, you know, it was good.
Yeah, I really like that movie, personally.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be on my top 10 of 2018, but, you know, it would be an honorable mention, so.
I put it on my top 10.
All right.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
It's real good.
All right. Anyone else? What else did you
I
see?
have one more movie. I'm not going to
movie?
really talk about it too much because I haven't even, like, prepped my thoughts on it. And it's kind of a hard movie to talk about, and that was Beats Per Minute. It's like a French film.
Okay.
Came out in 2017. It's long. It's about like a group called Act Out. They're like are like part of like the AIDS epidemic or whatever. They like meet together and stuff like that, and they kind of like protest because they want like treatment. They want better treatment like, from people too. Yeah. And it's like they kind of like fight for that kind of thing. And they're very logical people, and I think that's why this movie it doesn't it doesn't win me over all that much is because they are so like they have really good debates, and the writers that write this movie are so good at acknowledging both sides to everything, even though they're all fighting for the same thing. They always see it from so many different perspectives, and that's something that I really like about this movie. But it really hurts the emotional aspect of this film, because I think like halfway through this film, they really want you to like feel something for a certain character, and I mean, because some people they don't make it,
right? Because
they have AIDS and stuff like that. So like, it's kind of hard when you don't really feel that. And this movie, it's just there's a disconnect there.
When did the movie come out? Like, when did this movie?
2017.
Okay, so it's the more recent movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that for me personally really hurt the ending of the movie, but still, like, I couldn't get over how well this movie was written and how well it was acted and stuff like that. So I did like the movie. I'd say that the first half, this is irregular, I'd say the first half is like better than the second half, and so I'd give the movie a solid 7.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna love it, but it didn't really happen.
Okay. Mind if I talk about a couple films that I love?
Yeah,
go for it.
I'll just talk about them side by side. North by Northwest and Rear Window.
Great.
Had to watch them because I haven't seen North by Northwest, and I haven't seen Rear Window all the way through. So, all right, let's start with North by Northwest. It was great. I mean,
good.
It's so good. It's so good. I mean, it's the classic wrong man type genre. Cary Grant's amazing. Eva Marie Saint is amazing. It's basically about a guy who kind of gets trapped like in this kind of cat and mouse type game, between like the FBI and like some terrorists organization, and it's like everyone thinks he's like this one dude, and they're all trying to come after him for like different reasons, but he's just some dude who's just swept up in it. He's just some random guy.
Some normal dude.
Yeah, and so he has to kind of go on the run and figure out the mystery of like why, he's being chased by all these people.
Yeah, why
and
he's
stuff
so
like
wanted.
That. Yeah, exactly. And it's a really good. And I understand that some people might see this because I did watch some of it with my mom, and she was kind of laughing over how outdated some of the stuff was.
Oh yeah.
But you expect that stuff, and you kind of have to like disconnect yourself and put yourself in the mindset of someone seeing it in 1959. And for a person in 1959, that's just groundbreaking, dude. That set piece at the end on Mount Rushmore.
Oh, so good.
Is so good. Like, I understand that from today's standards, it might not be like the best thing ever, but like, it's still like really good, and you care about the characters enough to where the tension is still there. And you're like, oh my gosh. And every time like a special effect happens where someone might say, oh, that was cheesy, I think, man, that was groundbreaking for the time. So like, that's kind of the mindset that I like to be in. I'm like, that looks pretty cool for a 1959 movie,
Yeah. So
the characters, the twists and turns are always there. Again, kind of like with the birds, there's a couple like character moments where I'm like, that's a little odd, and that just wouldn't happen. Like when spoiler alert, sort of, when he gets kidnapped, he's like really cool about it. He's like, would you mind if I call someone and tell them I'm being kidnapped? I'm like, yeah, dude, you'd be like freaking out right now. You'd be like punching people trying to get out of that car. You wouldn't just like chill and like roll with the punches. But again, that's just a staple of the time.
Yeah, I think that's a Hitchcock thing.
Yeah, it must be.
That.
It must be. My only like real complaint about the movie, honestly, is the ending. Like, I know that like the very, very end. I've always known how it ended, like with the imagery, because it's a double entendre.
Yeah.
But I never like seen the full end, and it is very abrupt. It's like, wow, oh, okay, it ends.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm like, wow. Like, maybe just another 30 seconds would have, kind of expanded that. It literally ends in like 2 seconds. You're like, what? What just happened?
Okay, yeah. I actually, I don't remember that part. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
One thing I do remember really liking about the movie is how progressive it is. It always seems like they're transitioning from one thing to the next, and like, I'm like, how did he get from this situation to this situation? Like, it's so like, I remember the bidding scene.
Yeah.
Like, how did he get there? Why is he doing this? It's so weird.
Yeah, for sure.
And so it was kind of a really crazy like roller coaster ride.
Yeah, it really was, and I really liked it. I gave it a 4 out of 5, just because that ending, it was just too abrupt for me. I was like, I wish there was something a little more solidified there. Let's talk about a freaking masterpiece though.
Rear Window, dude.
Rear Window.
Do you know Rear Window?
No.
It's a Hitchcock movie, and it's with my boy James Stewart.
He's so
good. I know how much you like James
He's
Stewart.
so good in it.
So good.
It's basically about like James Stewart is.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen the movie Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf?
Yes, I have seen that movie.
That movie's a remake of.
Oh, is it?
It's a modern remake.
Yeah, so he's like he's not on house arrest. His legs like messed up, and he's like watching people. And and this movie's so interesting because you don't get to hear any dialogue from these people, but you get to see their storyline, and everyone has a storyline and an ending to their storyline.
Yeah.
You're just seeing them through a window.
So Jimmy, the movie's very much about like voyeurism and kind of like peeking into other people's lives behind the curtain. So Jimmy Stewart plays like a photographer, like for like he's like a journalistic photographer or whatever. Like he photographs like dangerous situations like war and like extreme sports and stuff like that. So an accident happens where he breaks his leg, and he basically just has to stay home and heal it. So in order to pass the time, he just uses binoculars and his camera to just look around, you know,
the outside world.
His like apartment complex sort of thing, or like the buildings around him, which at the time was the biggest set ever built for a movie at that time.
Oh, it's a great set.
Such a great set. And until one day he suspects that maybe one of his neighbors has committed a murder. And you're like, oh my God. Yeah. And they're trying to figure out the mystery. Did he do it? Did he not do it?
Oh, it's
that's cool. Sounds like something I gotta watch.
It's so good. Dude, I can't even... It's so good, dude. Jimmy Stewart has such an amazing performance, and his rapport with Grace Kelly is so freaking good, dude. Like, the conversations they have together is prime. And her intro, by the way, is so golden age, and I love it. You know? It's so good. Oh, I love it, dude. Yeah. You know what was crazy is that, so North by Northwest came out in 59. I was surprised to learn that Rear Window came out in 54, before North by Northwest. Yeah. Just technically speaking, it looks like it's more advanced than North by Northwest. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like.
I think most people would disagree with you, but I mean that's.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like more like the technique and stuff is like a lot higher kind of
caliber.
Yeah, higher
that
caliber.
Sounds like leads to that it's like based off of like direction, which like Hitchcock is like.
Yeah, and Hitchcock excels at studio directing. Like he even says it. Like he doesn't like directing on location.
Yeah.
And North by Northwest has a lot of location.
Yeah, and this movie is completely on it's one set piece. It's one for the entire film.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's fantastic, dude. Like the mystery is like so good.
Oh, and it has one of the most intense scenes like ever put to film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Boy.
It's really good. You should
gotta watch it.
Yeah, you should watch it.
We are gonna watch it because I want to watch it now.
Yeah, I know. There's one scene where like something happens. I won't spoil it, but something happens where I was like, I don't know about that, but you know, still great. It's just a minor nitpick. I won't get into it.
Yeah.
I'll just give you a word: flash.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I don't know, but I'm like, I'll roll with it.
Just roll with the punches.
I'll just roll with it. I'll roll with it. I gave this baby 5 out of 5.
Dude,
there we go.
It might be my second favorite Hitchcock film. I'm gonna be real with you.
Really? Yeah. It's way up there. What would even compete?
Strangers on a Train.
That makes sense.
Was like my number 2 for a while. Obviously Psycho's my number 1.
Obviously.
Rope was also my number 2 for a while, but
that got pushed out.
I think it's Rear Window now.
So, Rear Window's so
that's awesome, man.
So good. Yeah,
it's always fun watching, like finding a new movie that's like
for sure
up there.
Yeah, he gave me the Blu-ray set of Hitchcock, and I just watched them all.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that back ASAP.
Yeah, dude. Well, I want to watch the behind-the-scenes stuff, so I'm gonna do that.
Take your time, I guess.
Yes.
I'm gonna be talking about recently seeing. I watched the behind-the-scenes of Rear Window.
No, I'm not. No. Unless there's like a really cool anecdote, like I won't talk about behind-the-scenes stuff, but it'll be great. All right, that's all I got. Anything else, Jake or T-Kettle?
I think we're good.
The only other thing I've watched recently, there was it's anime. It came out, but it's not in theaters, so it counts in its own kind of way. There was a new Fate Stay Night movie, which I don't think any of you guys are probably. I know you haven't watched it, right?
I haven't watched it, but I know Fate.
I'm sure that no one that listens to this has probably watched it, but it's all right. It's based off of like a 60-hour-long video game.
Oh, okay.
And they're doing like a set of trilogy of movies.
Yeah.
It was all right. I like the game a lot. The movie, it covers the things that I want it to do, like the major themes of the movie of the game. So it does a good job there.
Yeah.
But it definitely misses some marks. some other areas because it's like it's like a 2-hour movie
for like 60-hour video game. You
well, it's weird because it's a Japanese visual novel, so it's like 3 stories that are all kind of like the same characters, but like the plot around them changes a little bit. And the so it misses some marks on some things. And it is definitely if you're interested in seeing it, anyone that's listening or anyone that's here in this room, it is gratuitous. And there's some explicit shit in there. So if you're not cool with like some real explicit shit,
who the fuck are you talking to?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just laying it out there. Like I saw it with Mark, and there's a scene at the end of the movie that Mark was definitely like not cool with.
Yeah. Mark,
yeah.
T-Kettle watches 2 Girls, 1 Cup just on the
yeah.
So he's
background noise.
Yeah.
So, exactly.
So there's some depictions of like sexual violence at the end.
Ooh, I know Mark Mark doesn't like really like any of that kind of stuff because remember when we were like hanging out back in the day, like 2011, we would go see like the Evil Dead remake.
Oh,
he hated horror back then, so every like 10 minutes he was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Or like he's like, I'm gonna go get something to drink. Anybody want something?
And
like,
then when the tree scene happened, it was probably like
he was gone.
Yeah,
he was gone. He was not in the room.
Oh,
so overall, so the real selling point of the movies is the production quality, like the animation quality.
Okay.
They spend the big bucks on this fucking shit, guys.
Okay. All right.
The movies look really good.
Okay.
So I saw that AMC 30.
Oh, nice.
Which I was surprised about.
What's it called again?
It's Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel Part 2.
Okay.
It's like, for a long time, the only way we had to go over to the Maple Theater to like watch all that stuff.
Right.
So it's interesting how popular like anime movies have gotten over here in the States. Like with the new DBZ movie, the My Hero Academia movie.
Oh yeah.
Like Your Name, obviously.
Yeah.
Super popular. So that stuff is like you can just go see that stuff at like, I think there was showings at Imagine.
Oh wow!
Which is like
really?
Doesn't have that many theaters.
Let's go, Paul Glantz.
Paul Glantz.
Yeah, Paul Glantz. If you're listening right now, I love you. I have a church dedicated in your name.
Where's Joy Radio from Channel 955?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Give me Paul Glantz. Paul Glantz, shout out to you. You're the best. You've changed the theater game here in Michigan.
Yeah, Paul Glantz is great.
Everyone's copying him now.
Which part?
The nice seats.
The nice seats and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like that.
MJR has it. You know what's some bullshit though? AMC 30. They
Still doesn't. Yeah.
They show the ads of people enjoying those. Like I saw Shazam, right? And I saw the pre-screening, and when that thing came up of like people like enjoying the seats and like reclining back, everyone in the theater started laughing. Like, yeah, like wow.
The AMC by closer to us.
Yeah, they have it.
I think it's just AMC 30's got too many screens.
Yeah, they just
don't want to spend the money.
They really don't.
Fuck them, dude.
Which sucks. They have Dolby though, and the Dolby seats are nice in there.
Yeah.
So what? I don't know. It's weird. At least replace the IMAX or something. Yeah, like that's ridiculous.
Because that's where I go to see most of my stuff because that's where they play the most stuff.
Is AMC a franchise or it's
they
like
are.
Okay, so like who has to pay for like those renovations? Like the franchisee or like the corporation?
That's a good question.
I bet it's the franchisee because if it was corporate, I bet they'd have it.
Yeah, they would have it. So that's probably it. Son of a bitch.
They probably got to put in requests for that kind of stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Bless them in their 30 screens. They can show all the weird stuff that doesn't go anywhere else.
That's true. That's exactly. All the special events always happen at AMC 30.
We saw some crazy stuff. Like, I remember, like, when I first came back to Michigan, I saw with him,
me.
Midnight, what was it? That one,
Midnight Blue or Midnight...
It's, Midnight Special.
Midnight Special, yeah.
Oh, it's Michael Shannon?
Then, we did the double feature. The next movie we saw was Green Room. Yeah, the Green Room.
Oh wow,
that movie's awesome.
Yeah,
I
so
hear
we saw that back to back, and then like the next day, because I'm like, there's so many movies that I still want to see. So I went and brought Mark, and then I watched Eye in the Sky, the movie with there's a bunch of people.
Alan Rickman's in that. Isn't
yes,
it?
yeah. I think it was like his last film.
Yeah, I think hers really good.
It was solid, and then I saw Everybody Wants Some.
Oh wow!
So they're playing all sorts of good stuff.
Damn, AMC 30, yeah, man. If they just had the good seats, I would just go there exclusively.
Yes.
Almost, you know?
Yeah, but you gotta make a drive.
You gotta make a drive, and
it's real close to my work.
Oh,
it's kind of nice.
There you go.
It's kind of nice. But
there you go.
Must be nice.
It must be nice.
Did you make a hot list? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make my own hot list. How does that feel, you little bitch?
All right, so is it list time? Yeah, I think so. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is the reason Jake is on.
Here, As you can tell, I've been asking questions, but I haven't watched most of the movies that were discussed so far.
It's all good.
But I had questions. I had talking points.
So you made a whole list and everything.
Yeah, I got a list.
You got any honorable mentions?
I do have some honorable mentions.
Cool.
I got the format down.
I actually have a lot more than you'd think. Because I don't know if you listen to the podcast, but I'm not I don't watch a lot of animation. Not because I don't like it. It's just because I don't know, for some reason I just don't gravitate toward it. Even though I appreciate it and I love the art form and I think it's very cool. Mm-hmm. I just don't go out of my way to really watch a lot of them for some reason. Probably because I don't like kids in the theater. That's probably why.
That's a big part of it, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm I don't want to.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of Western animation that caters to an adult audience. Which isn't to say there's obviously the Pixar stuff that always has
there's
some appeal to the parents in the room. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's not usually a huge focus on adult viewing in animation, which is not which we're gonna learn through the list. Most of my list is anime, but I do have a lot of Western stuff in here that
Anime just has really good storytelling usually, so I get it.
I cannot relate because I don't watch anime.
Honorable mentions do you have?
I think I have 11.
I have 14. So.
Okay.
But I can go through them quick.
5, 6. I didn't. I got 20. I'll be real. I got a lot.
Wow.
Which is surprising.
Big list. Yeah, big list. Here we go.
I basically just listed all the animations I've ever seen in my entire life. I'll be real with you.
Let's go. Let's get it.
So who wants to start?
Well, you, because you have 20.
All right, I'll do 3 right now.
Do it.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay.
It's great. Zootopia.
Oh, I like Zootopia a lot.
Fantastic. And Up.
Up is okay. So I have words on Up. It's not on my list. Mm-hmm. But there's the beginning of Up.
Yeah.
I think is one of the cleanest and best executed montage sequences in animation. There's so many good cuts that you can only do with animation. Mm-hmm. In that movie. The transitions between age brackets as they're getting old.
Know what it is? It's the lateral shots.
Yeah,
they're real good.
Yeah, that movie, the beginning. If I like that movie a lot, but if the first 5
wasn't there,
if the first 5 minutes wasn't there, definitely a weaker Pixar movie.
Oh, 100%.
Or if the rest of the movie was to the same quality as the first 5 minutes, it'd be the best Pixar movie.
Yeah,
I 100% agree.
That's
why
it's
an honorable mention.
I love the beginning of that movie.
Okay. I'm going to name 2.
Go for it, buddy.
This one doesn't need any explanation because we've kind of went over it a lot. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm. I have lots to say.
And the other one, The Boy and the Beast. Mamoru Hosoda directs this story of a boy following a beast into his world and being raised by him, kind of. But about halfway through the story, it evolves and finds all sorts of emotions, boasting epic symphonics and flawless fluidity to its animation. Boy and the Beast is Hosoda's exciting tribute to family, and family is something that goes way beyond blood.
Yeah, so I'm going to get back to Into the Spider-Verse because I have lots to say about that movie.
Okay.
I have lots to say about it too.
But with Mamoru Hosoda specifically, so this guy, if you don't know him, people that are listening, Mamoru Hosoda is famous for his works. He does anime in stuff like Summer Wars and Wolf Children. Uh-huh. And recently, Boy and the Beast. He's got another movie that just came out pretty recently that I haven't seen yet.
And don't forget about Digimon the movie.
He also did the Digimon movie, which is surprisingly good. I was never huge into Digimon growing up. The Digimon movie is way better than it has any right to be. But he's come up real big in Japan in the last I want to say almost 10 years now as the next figure to step into Hayao Miyazaki's shoes, who's done less and less work over time. Mm-hmm. For people who don't know Hayao Miyazaki, he's the Studio Ghibli guy. Yeah. So he's by far the most recognizable figure in the anime industry.
Yeah. All that.
We'll talk about more about him later for sure.
Yeah.
But Hosoda, all those movies deal with family and every single one of them, and they're all so good. He's great. The Boy and Beast is a great movie. I like it a lot. It's probably my least favorite movie I've seen of his in a while.
Really?
But that's just to the strength of his other works.
I just watched The Girl Who Leapt Through Time for the first time. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I think this one's better personally.
I haven't seen The Girl Who Leapt Through Time in a while.
Yeah.
I have them all.
Yeah,
we should watch them.
I know.
We should watch them.
Marathon, baby.
Yeah, but he's great. Into the Spider-Verse. It's on my honorable mention too. I think it's the best looking movie ever made. like bar none.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
Especially since I know one specific honorable mention that you have.
Yep. It was the best looking movie ever made.
Until
this movie.
What?
I think Into the Spider-Verse is like hands down the best looking movie ever made.
It is amazing looking. It is the artistry of that film is insane.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't think there's anything close. Like animation, live action, I don't think anything comes close. Mm-hmm. I think the stuff they do is so creative, like the colors and like the digital effects they use all look great. The movie's always shocking and surprising. The camera angles they use are all beautiful. And the shot composition, like everything, the storytelling through visual mediums, like the way they like use light and dark and the shadows and everything cast. I think there's like nothing that comes close.
Yeah.
I even bet like the studio that made it can't do it again. I think there's something about this movie that is like probably.
I bet you're 100% right.
Yeah.
And they capitalized on this thing. They're like, no one else is going to.
They
make
tried to
movie.
patent the technology.
Yeah.
They're like, no one else can do this now. That's crazy.
I think it's to the movie itself. I think the movie is pretty good. I think it's probably my favorite like Spider-Man movie. Maybe not Homecoming or Spider-Man 2. Mm-hmm. Those might be better. Like as just movies.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not as gravitated to the character of Miles. I think he's awesome. Mm-hmm. But like just the visuals alone, I think like knock it out of the park.
For sure, they're amazing.
And it has to be stated how good this movie looks. Like it's. If you haven't seen it, you must have seen it. Like if you're on the internet, you've seen like GIFs or like short videos about it, like on Twitter or Facebook.
Yeah.
There's no way you haven't.
It's fantastic.
But oh my god, the movie looks so good.
It does.
Which can lead me to one of my honorable mentions.
Here it is. I knew it was coming.
Which is Redline. Redline's one of them. This is a movie. It's an anime from Studio Madhouse. It is a movie that took 7 years to make.
Damn.
It's a little bit cheating because the movie halfway through production they scrapped most of it and like redid it, like restarted it.
Yeah.
But it's only to a testament of its like visual quality. It is it's like about an hour and 45 minutes. It's all hand cell shaded. But with digital like colorization.
Yeah.
And it's basically like if you took Speed Racer and put it on like the most crack you could ever find.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
wish there was more to it as far
as
to
the story and like to the characters. They're all pretty benign. You're watching it for the visual flair. Uh-huh. It's like the sci-fi like rate like race for like basically like $1 billion like space money.
Oh wow! Okay.
And the movie is just a roller coaster. The visual car design, there's like so like the main character JP is like the only human in the mix. Everyone else is this weird like fucked up looking alien dude. They all are just weird, like this weird cavalcade of like monsters and like green women or like whatever the mix is in there. It just looks so good. Like the fluidity of the animation, like the colors are the big thing, the pop. Because it's normal like cell shaded. Like, you sit there with, like, the bright screen and you have, like, the cells, like, on your drawing, like, tracing on cells and stuff like that. And then they put that into the computer and then they digitalize, like, all the colors. So it really pops in a way that, like, modern animation doesn't do that anymore. Like, even in Japan, like, most stuff that comes out, I think, like, 99% of the stuff that comes out is all, like, digitally written.
Digital, yeah.
It's all digital. Everything here in the West, like everything's totally moved to like the digital style.
Yeah, for sure.
Even Disney doesn't do like 2D stuff anymore.
Oh yeah, no. Even stuff that is 2D isn't 2D.
Yeah,
they do it on a computer.
It's a breath of fresh air. It looks great. After the podcast, we just got to show you the trailer.
All
right.
You
have to.
Yeah.
All right.
Until Spider-Verse, I was convinced it was the best looking thing ever.
Okay. All right. All right. That's interesting. All right. My next honorable mention, Lion King.
Okay.
I mean, it's great. It's crazy to me that this was going to be a straight-to-DVD movie when they first created it until they saw the quality of it, and they were like, oh, wow, this is legit. Like, the visual flair and the visual style of this film, I think, is also really cool because with the African kind of imagery and stuff like that. Also, the voice acting is really good. So, it's a classic. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but I had to put it on there.
Yeah.
Because it's something I've seen, so.
I actually have that on my honorable mentions as well.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, Lion King, it's on there for me.
Oh, okay.
Probably Disney's best film. Sort of a retelling of Hamlet. The Lion King has some of the boldest and most heartfelt moments in Disney's repertoire. somehow they were able to spin the Shakespearean work into appropriate themes that usually get employed by Disney. So
yeah, growing up, Lion King was my favorite movie.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in forever, but I remember really loving it. I'll just like roll one off also for you guys. It's actually 2. Incredibles 1 and 2.
Oh yeah. Incredibles is on here as well for me.
Yeah.
I think Incredibles is Pixar's best movie.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good, especially because I love superheroes. And I think that this is the best Fantastic Four movie.
Oh my god, it totally is. Yeah,
completely destroyed every single superhero movie that was coming out when it came out.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 100%. Brad Bird kills it, dude.
And it's so
you know
adult.
what's cool about it is adult. There's like some really intriguing conversations that happen, like political kind of esque conversations, almost like Civil War kind of level conversations that happen.
That and the affair conspiracy. I mean, who can pull that off besides Pixar?
No, it's great. And you know what's cool? You know what Brad Bird did to revolutionize kind of the animation world is Brad Bird was the first outside director to come in to Pixar, because originally everyone who directed Pixar movies was within Pixar. You know, they were like staff members or like stuff like that. Like John Lasseter, who basically created it. Brad Bird was the first guy who came in and did it. You know, he came in like from the outside world, and he's like, all right, here's what I want to do. I want like a handheld shot. And they're like, well, you can't really do that. And he's like, I want it. I want a handheld shot. I want like depth. I want depth of field and handheld shots going on here. So he kind of brought like a real director's perspective to Pixar animation, which changed like the game.
Changed the game, yeah. The movie's still really good.
Yeah, it's filmed like a real movie, which is crazy, you know, with all of its techniques.
Yes, absolutely.
So, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I love The Incredibles.
Yes.
Also, like, shout out to the score. It's like one of the best movie scores of all time.
Oh, yeah. Giacchino's score?
Yeah, Michael Giacchino kills it.
Oh,
that's one of his like early stuff too. Like he's really big now, but like back in the day, wasn't this movie come out like 2004? Yeah, like he was not as popular as he is now.
Yeah, for sure. Fantastic.
This is kind of a weird one because I kind of like I need to rewatch it. But Toy Story 2, it's a solid follow up. Toy Story 2 did have some outrageous references that either led to a gag or changed the whole dynamic of the character's background. Like do you remember the Zurg thing?
Oh yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then they hit you with the Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Like what? That's crazy. It definitely didn't feel like they were going to make a second at this point or a third at this point because it just kind of felt like a last hurrah for them.
You know what's crazy about this movie is that the movie was like not doing so well like a couple months into production or like a couple months left of production or whatever. So they had to kind of like what you were just talking about, they had to scrap it and like restart the movie from scratch, basically like
a triumphant effort
a couple months beforehand.
Yeah. That movie's great. I really like that movie. I got two other like Disney stuff like out here. Mulan. I think Mulan's awesome. I love Mulan. Music in there's great. I think it's just a great, wholesome movie. It's great. And then Eddie Murphy as Mushu is hilarious. And then another one, probably like the most. This is the movie that killed 2D animation at Disney. Treasure Planet. There's a great analysis you can watch on YouTube about Treasure Planet. It's like 30 minutes long. You should watch it. It's basically about how
it's like Treasure Island, but in the future.
Yeah. It's Treasure Island, but sci-fi. Except they still have, instead of like regular ass spaceships, they have like sailboats in space. Yeah. It's really cool. This movie killed 2D animation at Disney. It was a big flop financially. Yeah. And after this movie, I think it was the last 2D like cell animated movie they ever did. Really? Everything after this was all 3D. After the Pixar style.
Yeah, I heard it was a flop.
Yep, big flop. Doesn't deter from the fact that it's a great movie.
That's what I hear.
It's definitely like their best looking movie. They really brought out the big guns for this one. And the studio heads at the animation department at Disney for years were trying to get this movie made. Many other movies, I think like Hercules and like Hunchback of Notre Dame and all that stuff like was set to come out like after this movie. They wanted to do this movie first. Yeah. And it kept getting pushed back and back because the execs at Disney didn't have hope in it. Probably for good reason. The movie didn't do well.
Right.
And I don't know. I think the movie's great, and it's the last hurrah Disney had with 2D work.
I heard that the movie has like a big cult following.
Yeah, you should watch it. You should watch. Like I said, there's like a 30-minute analysis on there. I don't have the channel name. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but he does a great job of going through like the production troubles this movie had and like why it flopped and why even despite that it's still really good.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool. Who's next?
Let me rattle off two.
All right, go ahead.
real quick, Aladdin. I think it has the best music in Disney movies.
Mm-hmm.
Second to Tarzan, actually.
All right.
And I really hope they don't fuck it up with the the live action. And How to Train Your Dragon. This franchise pulled a Harry Potter and realized its audience age as they progressed. I haven't seen the new one, but I hear it's darker and the characters have aged with us. This was a great starting point to get you hooked on the world and the relationship between man and man's best friend. It's really good. I like that movie a lot.
Still gotta see it.
Yeah, I still have to see this.
All right, I'm gonna label off 3 here because I got a lot. Mm-hmm. Finding Nemo. I think Andrew Stanton did that. No, Andrew Stanton did Monsters Inc. Whatever. Monsters Inc. I'll put that on here too. But Finding Nemo. I really like that film. Here's another one from Pixar Disney. Is WALL-E.
Oh, WALL-E's so good.
Yeah, WALL-E is really good. I love how it's like almost like a silent film for like the first 10 minutes or whatever. I think that's really great. Also, here's kind of an oddball one by Wes Anderson. Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's it's stop motion.
Oh yeah. No, it counts.
Definitely counts. Definitely.
Yeah. So, Fantastic Mr. Fox is fantastic. No pun intended.
Great. That's a great one. You want to label?
Yeah. So I got some. Getting some of the big hitters out of the way. Stuff like so first big one. This is an anime that like basically put anime on the map in the States.
Is this still your honorable mentions?
This is also on my list. Okay. My honorable mentions.
Akira.
Yep.
Okay.
Akira came out, and it changed the game for anime in the West. Super popular. It's iconic. Everyone's seen symbolism and like references to Akira. It's in movies like all over the place, live action, animated. It's all
the
there.
One that like Darren Aronofsky does a lot too. He always, and the Wachowskis and
neon colored effects.
We'll
get to the Wachowskis in a second.
Okay.
Akira came out in like the mid to late 80s. In this movie, it takes place in like a neo cyberpunk Tokyo. Humanity's evolved to a point where some of them have the ability to tap into psychic powers, and it goes crazy. And there's this biker gang in Neo Tokyo that is kind of mixed in with all this because one of their members has these psychic powers, and it goes all over the place. The big takeaway that everyone has seen is like the motorcycles with the red neon trails behind them. Yep. All the the jackets and the art direct, the character designs are all great. Yeah. This movie's awesome. I think it flubs on some major story beats, and that makes sense. It makes sense because it's adapted from a much longer manga series, like Japanese comics that is way longer than an hour and a half movie. But the movie's iconic, and anyone that wants to get into anime should probably watch this movie. It's not the best movie out there, but it definitely changed the game here in the States.
160,000 cells in that movie.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
By far the best looking at the time.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's why it
still looks great.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
And then another huge one here in the States, Ghost in the Shell. The original Ghost in the Shell. Obviously Scarlett Johansson's Ghost in the Shell the thing. Yeah. I think it is a poor man's version of this movie because I think that movie's already super fucking good. Ghost in the Shell is a story about transhumanism and what it is, what people will look like 50, 60, 70 years down the future. I am not if you've played the Deus Ex games or watched stuff if you've watched stuff like Ex Machina with AI and intelligence stuff like that, this movie is all that. It's AI, it's transhumanism, it's all that stuff. It is basically the cyber FBI in the future is tracking down this criminal that's hacking all these politicians' brains, because in the future you have computers in your brains, and there's this hacker that naturally. There's this hacker that's plugging himself into all these politicians' brains and either getting manipulating their consciousness or killing them or all this kind of stuff. So they're tracking them down, and it culminates in some really cool stuff. Some of the shots in this movie are iconic. The Matrix can thank its existence for this movie because without it, there would be no Matrix, which I think is top 5 best live action movies ever made. The first one. Yeah. Everything after that is pretty whatever. I don't even know whether they exist or not. But the Matrix can thank its existence to this movie, and obviously, like I said, it's popular enough to the point where Hollywood made a version, which is I should own it, but it's not that bad.
Right.
It definitely misses some of the stuff that's like in the movie, but it's like for the most part like a pretty like shot to shot.
Yeah, for like a Western adaptation.
Yeah, it's not the worst.
Yeah.
There's worse.
There's something called Dragon Ball Evolution, and
oh my god,
that was
I forgot that movie existed.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh my god.
At least
that movie's so bad. Most of the cast in that movie, funny enough, in Dragon Ball Evolution, are like in Shameless, that Showtime show.
Oh really?
Yeah, like the main like Goku and Chi-Chi are like the main couple in Shameless.
Oh, there you go.
It's funny how that worked out.
Yeah. All right. What else do I got here? Ratatouille.
Okay, that's good.
101 Dalmatians.
Okay.
The Lego Batman movie. I actually haven't seen the Lego movie. I just seen the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah, I'll say I haven't watched any of the Lego movies. The Lego Batman, like in like the like Lego like Star Wars like video games, way better than they have any right to be.
Oh, there you go.
So if that touches onto the movies at the same time, like I'm in.
I even heard the Marvel Lego game is amazing.
They're all like actually really good.
Yeah.
I was working at GameStop at the time when they first started coming out back in the early 2010s.
Yeah.
And no, like I'd recommend those games to everyone. Like I had them at home. I was playing them with my brothers because they're great co-op games.
Nice.
They're like actually good games.
Nice.
And it's like shocking. It's weird how big the Lego property is.
Oh, it's huge.
It's
huge.
Massive.
Massive.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's crazy.
Yeah.
People really like Legos.
I get it. I guess. So I got two. One I'm not even gonna really talk about because I've talked about it on our romance episode, Padma Inverted.
Okay.
I like that movie a lot. I didn't know a thing about it before I saw it, and it actually shocked me. So always keep an open mind when it comes to movies. And then you're gonna disagree with me, but Castle in the Sky, because this is Ghibli's most exciting film. It's a steampunk fantasy where two people venture towards a mystical floating city while being pursued by the girls' kidnappers and greedy pirates. And that pretty much just says it all, like how exciting that movie could be. I like that one.
I think that movie's pretty good. I don't think it's near the best, but
I think it that's fair. That's fair.
I think it's really good though. I mean, basically everything Hayao Miyazaki and Ghibli have touched is like A+.
Okay, out of all, because I haven't seen them all, obviously, because I suck.
We got them all.
I know we got them all. We should watch them.
Did Ghibli do The Secret Life of Arrietty, or was that someone else? Do you know?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't a Hayao Miyazaki movie, but they did.
That was Ghibli? Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering. All right.
Yeah.
And go ahead. You got one more, you said, right?
How many more do you have from them?
I got a lot more.
If you want to rattle off some more, go for it.
I'm just going to say The Iron Giant.
Oh, that's on mine too.
Brad Bird's amazing.
So good.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. Corpse Bride. I think it's the best stop motion movie Tim Burton has ever done. He didn't direct Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for Henry Selick, who
I feel like
he gets no credit for that.
Yeah, he gets screwed on that one.
Yeah, yep. I read the behind the scenes about it recently, and basically, Henry Selick basically took a poem that Tim Burton wrote and made that into a film. So like he has like story credit, but he didn't write or direct that film. So it's weird how it's called. He produced it, but Henry Selick deserves way more. And he also did Coraline and like a couple other things, like what was that, James the Giant Peach.
See, I literally put all those to Tim Burton's head.
Yeah, see?
Like I'm pretty sure most people do.
It probably doesn't help that they kind of have the same style as well, but like he does not get enough credit for that movie. What else do I have? Corpse Bride, yeah, and Paranorman, Laika's stop motion film is absolutely amazing. I love that film. Yep.
I got Inside Out, dude. I don't know why nobody talks about
Inside Out's really good.
It's so good, dude. That movie made me cry like a baby.
It's like I was shocked at how good it was.
It can be peppy and depressing, but its truth is so accurate of like growing up and the big changes in your life that like suppress your emotions, and it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, the way that they turn like your emotions into like characters, and it's super interesting.
And the way they do it is that like why is this girl losing her? Because the emotions in this movie are just incompetent.
Yeah, they just suck at their job.
They're terrible.
Yeah, when you're becoming a teenager, they all just like
they just give up on you.
They just all suck. So that's why teenagers suck. It's great.
That's true. Do you have any left?
Yeah, I got 3 left. We can get some of the honorable mentions. I would just, if I could, I would just honorable mention basically everything Ghibli's ever made. But the 2 standouts I think that I'm gonna mention that isn't the Ghibli movie in my top 5 is Spirited Away and Grave of Fireflies.
Okay.
Spirited Away. It's a masterpiece. It's great. It looks so good. It is so wholesome. It is fantastic. The world it depicts is so imaginative. There's so many crazy characters. The screen's always moving, and you always find a bunch of new details when you watch that movie. I think it's the only Japanese animation that's ever been acknowledged by the Academy. Mm-hmm. It got nominated for best animation. Mm-hmm. Did it win? I can't remember if it won. I don't think it won. It got nominated, which I think is the only animation like anime to like ever get that. And I think that was in 2001. So that movie's great.
I think Red Turtle was nominated for best.
It was.
Was it? Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Spirited Away, amazing movie. It's definitely the most like iconic Ghibli movie out there. Mm-hmm. For good reason. I think it's great. Mm-hmm. Grave of Fireflies. It is a Ghibli movie, but it's not by Hayao Miyazaki. It's directed by Isao Takahata. Takahata definitely gets. He's like definitely like the guy like hiding in the shadows when it comes to like his work in Ghibli. Yeah. At least here in the States, he doesn't get nearly the recognition that Miyazaki does. Maybe for good reason, but all his movies are a lot more grounded. They're less fantastical. But I think they're all great. And Grave of Fireflies is definitely, like, in my opinion, his best work. It is takes place in World War II Japan, like right before the bombs drop. And it's two kids, like this like young man he's probably like, I want to say like 11 or 12. He's not that old. Mm-hmm. And his like baby sister who's like 4 or 5. She's not old at all. And they've lost their parents in the war. And they're making their way, trying to survive, like homeless, in World War II, like right at the end of the war, Japan, and it is fucking sad. Holy shit! Does it make you feel bad?
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to see it.
It is heart wrenching. Murders you.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, like, oh.
And I'm really assuming good. No, like just because of the premise, you kind of have a feeling of what's gonna happen, but like it doesn't prepare you, right? Even if you know, like
it's only there, and it's great on second and third watches. It tells you right at the fucking beginning what's happening.
Oh damn!
And you don't see it the first time, and when it happens again, like you see it again, you're just like, oh my god,
damn.
The movie's really good.
That's insane.
It's probably the closest to cracking into my top 5 as anything on the honorable mentions.
Okay.
And I love it to death.
Oh, nice.
It's really sad though. I don't ever want to watch it again. It's one of those kind of movies.
Sometimes those are the best movies.
Yeah, like I have a hard time wanting to watch it ever.
All right, Niko, what do you got?
All right, I'm just gonna rattle off some things here. Big Hero 6, love that film.
Good stuff.
Megamind, underrated superhero film. Kung Fu Panda. Hotel Transylvania, super underrated. I love that film. Rise of the Guardians, I love it because there's no musical numbers. I'm not huge on musicals, which is kind of ironic.
It's just the Disney stuff that does it for me, I think.
Yeah. So it's like kind of more serious and more of an action film, and I like that. And then I gotta mention Snow White because it started it all, at least over here.
Yeah, Snow White's really good.
Snow White started it all. Yep. All right.
So you have one more, you said?
I got one more.
I have a feeling I know what it is, so I'm going to talk about the other one. I might have messed this up because it might be yours. I don't know. Legends of the Galactic Heroes, the movie.
Conquest is the Sea of Stars. Yeah.
Yes. This first movie fleshed out from the first episode, took every bare bones frame and made it gorgeous. Through this movie, you become acquainted with the characters and their stance on this infinite war. You witness a battle potentially turning the tide and get a feel for the tone. And it kind of aims for like this sophisticated and like epic proportion, like something like around there. It kind of like feels like 2001: A Space Odyssey when you're watching it. Mm-hmm. They play like classical music over like a battle, and it's like really cool. And it's very pretty.
Yeah.
And I wish that the rest of the show looked that good, but we haven't finished it yet.
So Legend of the Galactic Heroes, for anyone that doesn't know.
Say it.
Ginga Eiu Densetsu. The Japanese title. So this is a Japanese like an anime OVA, basically like it's a TV show that never was on TV. They just released it straight to video for years in Japan.
It's his favorite anime of all
time. It's my favorite show. It's very it's super obscure. Like only like snobs like it. The movie that T-Kettle's referencing is the first 2 episodes of the show are kind of jank, so they went back like after the fact and like basically turned them into movies with added context and stuff like that. They're really cool. If you want to like watch like a sci-fi political like epic, 2 two rival factions, like basically like spanning the entire galaxy, going to war with each other and like trying to outmaneuver each other. And the basic of the story is like how charismatic leaders can like really change the tide of like a situation. Because the two main characters of the show are both rivals on other sides of the aisle, and their rivalry is breathtaking to see. The movie, the anime itself is very grounded, as grounded as like a sci-fi thing could probably be. There's no like giant mechs. There's no like psychic weird space powers.
It's very strategic.
Yeah, it's great. If you ever want to watch a 110 episode TV show about space battles and politics, it's the best out there. It's a lot like Battlestar Galactica in that kind of way.
Right.
And the other one you were gonna do?
Yeah, the other one. I mean, there's two of them. There's My Kind Quest is the Sea of Stars, and there's Overture to a New War.
Your honorable mention.
That's what I was gonna say. Oh. Yeah, you picked.
I picked the wrong one.
You did pick the wrong
one.
Son
of a bitch.
It's all good though.
The other one was Perfect Blue.
See, we'll talk about that in depth in a minute.
Yeah, I won't talk about it then. It's good.
But yeah, it's great stuff. Really obscure stuff. My top 5 has some obscure stuff in it, so bear with me.
Yeah,
it's all good. All good. Well, I have no anime near any of my anything. I'm just warning you guys.
You're good. No, it's like I said. I like anime a lot. Not everyone's into it. I understand.
It's a good way to tell a story.
There's some good stuff in there. I think there's a lot of weird stuff out there.
Yeah, but there's stuff that it could be accessible to everybody.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like most people would love Ghost in the Shell or Akira or any of the Ghibli movies
if they like sci-fi.
I think just in general. Maybe not. Maybe Akira less. Akira gets weird.
It does get weird, especially towards the end.
Ghost in the Shell, I think, is just a movie. I think most people like. If you're cool with like The Matrix, like you'd love Ghost in the Shell.
Okay. So who's gonna start off the top 5?
Doesn't matter. Since we already talked about it, I'll do mine because we talked about it. Into the Spider-Verse is my number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, it just the way it looks is amazing. It's so visually stunning, and it looks like a comic book come to life, like legitimately. And the story is cool and surprisingly adult. To see people get shot with a gun and then die.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, okay. You know, that's not something you expect from a film by Sony Animation.
For sure.
And the fact that this came from the studio that did the Emoji Movie is saying something.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Yeah, like,
what a level up.
Yeah, I know, right?
They just they took a bunch of steroids and we're just like, we're gonna go flex on these fools.
Yeah, right? Like, all right, everyone's making fun of us. Not today. So
yeah. You're super into comics.
I love comics.
So how did you feel? Because I'm not too versed in the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Sorry about the pun. There's like tons of references to other Spider-Man material in there, and then like obviously like near the end, you have all the extra Spider-Man popping in.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Well, the movie kind of simplifies the storyline from the comic books.
Yeah.
The Into the Spider-Verse storyline from the comic books, which by the way is probably the best storyline because the Spider-Man comic books have been on a huge decline for years. Ever since One More Day / Brand New Day, that Joe Quesada kind of took heat on, really ruined Spider-Man, where they made Spider-Man make like a deal with the devil to remove like his relationship with Mary Jane because he wanted to undo the events of Civil War where he revealed his identity to everybody. It was a horrible storyline. It ruined Spider-Man. And I don't think ever since that like storyline, they've never been able to fix it. They've never been able to like make a good Spider-Man storyline. A lot of people might say Superior Spider-Man. I didn't like that story personally, but a lot of people did. Spider-Verse was the first time like, okay, this is like a good storyline finally, But in the comic books, it's hundreds of Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Like, hundreds.
Yeah, because when they had like Spider-Pork and they had like weird Nick Cage Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man, Spider-Man Noir. In the comic books, they have Spider-Punk, who's like a punk rocker. Spider-Man UK. It's nuts. It is crazy. So,
they only picked like 3 from there or whatever.
Yeah, they only picked like 3 or 4.
Yeah, because they had mainline Spider-Man and then Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, Spider-Gwen, mainline Spider-Man, Miles Morales, who's like from the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah.
They had the anime Spider-Woman, who's just like Spider, Penny and Spider.
Yeah, the big spider suit.
Yeah, which is great. Who actually was in the comic books was invented by the guy from My Chemical Romance who did Umbrella Academy. I can't remember his name. But he's like the lead singer from My Chemical Romance. He created that character.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, but they simplified it, and I think they did a really good job kind of simplifying the storyline, and making it accessible to everybody. Because I feel like if it was just a straight up adaptation, people would have been lost. Like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
it would have been too much, you know? But the original Spider-Verse storyline from the comics is a really cool villain. I think an underrated villain. His name's Morlun, and he's known as, like, he's like sort of like a vampire sort of thing. He's got, like, he's one of the strongest supervillains that Spider-Man has ever faced. He actually pretty much killed Spider-Man once. And, yeah, he's basically, like, from a different dimension, and he's going down and kind of hunting all the Spider-Men from the different directions because he wants to remove the spider totem, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he's hopping from dimension to dimension, killing all the Spider-Men because he wants to remove the whole spider totem thing.
Oh, yeah, they definitely simplified it.
Yes, they did. And he's also tried to kill, like, the Panther totem, so he's tried to kill Black Panther a couple times. That's his whole thing. He goes from universe to universe to, like...
eliminate superheroes.
Yeah, pretty much.
To cut the tether.
To cut the tether. Us reference. Yeah. So, but I loved it. It's a comic book come to life, and it embraces it and amplifies it to the next level. So
yeah,
it's real good.
Buddy.
It's real good. It's real good. Might be premature to put it on a top 5, but
no, I don't think so. I think just on the merits of its like visual style alone.
Yeah.
Like it takes a hold of the animation medium better than anything ever has.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, who's next?
I can go next because we mentioned it just briefly a minute ago. A movie called Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue, the director Satoshi Kon. He is an amazing director. Unfortunately he died early. He died in like his mid 40s back in like 2010. I want to say.
Yeah, 2010.
And he was only looking to go up and up from here. So Perfect Blue is a movie about so it's. Thematically, it's about the real person versus like the avatar that you see of a person online.
Okay.
The movie it's about a pop idol singer named Mima, who is transitioning from her pop idol status to becoming a TV actress. There's a lot of movies that have taken reference, like live action movies. Like Black Swan is basically like a live action adaptation of this.
Okay.
Yeah. There's some scenes like in Requiem for a Dream that are straight up like stolen from this movie.
Daredevil again.
Yeah, like the scene.
Loves this movie.
Yeah, the scene of me you know the bathtub scene where they're like crouched down over their back and there's the vertical shot over straight out of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is a trip.
Yeah.
It is super trippy.
It challenges like perspective and illusionary like bullshit, like more so than almost any other film out there. There's a couple. Satoshi Kon did this a lot. He had a couple other movies like Paprika that did this. Like the entire movie is just a mad like acid trip. But basically, Mima is transitioning from pop idoldom to becoming an actress. And some background on it in Japan, there's definitely this like culture around like pop idols that definitely is definitely creepy and is definitely not okay.
Them, right?
Basically, yeah. They
Obsessive.
become obsessive, and when she transitions into this more serious acting role, a number of her fans take this poorly and go on to basically try to ruin her life. And in trying to ruin her life, she starts like losing it.
Yeah.
There's a stalker that's involved that is definitely like trying to like destroy the things around her to like bring her back to like what his like fantasized version of her is.
Yeah.
And it's always challenging who the real Mima is and who she is, and she's always coming to blows with trying to be this thing for the people to like love and adore. And she eventually starts basically starts hallucinating this like alter ego of herself that is fucking with her, like destroying her life, or what she perceives to. But the entire time, is she actually the one doing this? Is there someone else that's like fucking with her? There's many scenes at the back half of the movie that just bleed one into the other. Like she'll be in a room, she'll be looking at the wall, and she'll turn around and she's turning around, the animation shifts and she's in a different room, a different spot. They repeat the same scenes over and over again.
It's like that blackout editing, like where a character like got from one place to the next and they don't know how they got there.
Oh,
yeah, it's all over the place. The movie's crazy. And it's terrifying. And it talks about a lot of things that I think have only become more relevant as time has gone on. This movie was made in 1997. In the movie, they make jokes about how like the internet is still a strange thing. Like Mima like buys a computer for the first time and she doesn't know how to work the internet.
Right.
And as the internet's gotten more and more like integrated in our lives today, the idea of like what you put online versus like what you are in real life has only become, the gulf between those two things has only grown. And this movie tackles subjects about that stuff.
It's become more relevant.
It's become more relevant over time. There's the infamous like Bjork stalker stories.
Yeah.
This movie came out before that, which is strange because so many people like relate those two things as like being an influence on the movie. Stuff like the mail bombs and all that stuff like that. All that stuff's in here, and it's weird how prescient Satoshi Kon was about the situation of the world, of how it was going to move forward. And I think the movie is brilliant. It's well animated. It's not the best looking thing ever. It's definitely a more normalized style. Everyone looks like actual like Japanese people as opposed to most anime that doesn't.
Yeah.
And the visual like texture of the movie, the color palette of the movie between like when Mima is just her in her apartment like being herself is very like placid and plain and very mellow. It's definitely not like it's very muted. Versus like when she is like when there's a camera in the shot, like on set, when she's like on camera, the colors saturate like crazy. She becomes more beautiful. Everyone around her becomes more grungy, and like their eyes become like dark voids, and it's definitely like this weird trip. You have to like watching it multiple times, like fills in different gaps and different things all the time. It's such a treat. It's so good.
It's disgusting. It's
also foul. Yeah, it's foul. Once again, same thing. Going back to the category warning for Fate Stay Night earlier in the podcast. If you're not cool with sexual violence, do not watch this movie. Absolutely do not. It's there, and it's fucked up. Don't watch it.
But it has a purpose.
But yeah, it's there to serve. It's not there just for the sake of just being like gross. If you can stomach that stuff, I think this movie is a must-watch. It's definitely influenced a lot of like Western filmmaking.
For sure.
Okay.
So take a look. I had to buy it again on Blu-ray because I still had the DVD copy. It just came out on Blu-ray.
Oh, nice.
Um,
and the DVD, we were watching it on Kettle's 4K, and ooh, does it look bad on that?
It does not.
Really?
Yeah, like it's in a terrible aspect ratio.
Oh,
it was like late 90s, so it's like widescreen, like CRTs.
Yeah.
Hideous.
Yeah, it does not look good.
All right.
It matches the tone of the film.
But on Blu-ray, I'm sure it'll look fantastic.
All right.
My number 5 is a movie called Mary and Max. I've cried so much because of this film. It's a stop-motion feature about a chubby little girl with no friends forming a bond with a pen pal, an obese Jewish man with Asperger's struggling to cope in New York City. This man sort of prepares her for the real world, and with his troubles, she kind of realizes that it could always be worse. It's a part realism tale, part black comedy, and you spend an emotional journey through her transformative period and his stationary period. And this is probably the saddest movie I've ever seen.
Damn, you guys have like some really like real and heavy animation like stuff going on here. And I'm like, yeah, just Rise of the Guardians, Kung Fu Panda,
It's good. That's all good. That's good stuff too. But like this is the big boy lead. This is the top 5 baby.
Yeah, there's some. It's interesting you bring it up because I think for most people their experience is probably gonna be similar to yours, Niko.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of like Western animation that does this kind of stuff, and that's not like the best thing that's come out in years out of the West. Into the Spider-Verse,
right.
Like tackles serious subjects, and it's something I think that like only gets perpetrated more and more by the movie culture. It's like Hollywood culture itself is like where they relegate like animated movies and stuff like that into basically like kids' realm.
Yeah, they do.
But you can tell some like really grounded and serious like adult stories with animation, and it's I take it less as a genre and more of just like an artistic choice.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
It's definitely like, does your move like you can, because nowadays you can do almost anything in animation. Like animation served a purpose before, like early on, like especially in the like before the turn of the century, as being a medium where if you wanted a consistent fantastical like portrayal of something, the best way to do that was to animate it
because you couldn't do it in live action.
Because you couldn't do it in live action.
Special effects.
As time has gone on, live action's been able to fill up that role more and more. I mean, just look at just look at stuff like the Marvel movies. Like the special effects in those things are like, what the hell am I even watching? Or like you're watching like
Star Wars even. Or
like Star Wars. Like it's doing stuff that like you can barely tell it's like CG almost at this point.
Yeah.
But if you want like the perfect cohesive style with like fantastical elements, and I think animation is still the way to go. I think Into the Spider-Verse proves that.
Yeah.
You could never tell a story like that with like Tobey Maguire. Sorry, like it's not happening. No. Like I love you, Tobey. Spider-Man 2 was really good, but like it doesn't work.
I could make it work.
The same way.
I think it could work. Imagine having having Tobey Maguire,
Andrew
Garfield, and
Tom
Holland.
You're right.
Let's
get the live action Spider-Verse. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. We're going for it.
Oh boy,
That'd be amazing.
We'll stack the two and see how they go.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
oh my god.
There's only one of those I want to see though.
Yeah. But yeah, so like animation's weird. It definitely like gets relegated to I think like a cheap spot here in the West. But that's not like, it serves its purpose. Like animation, like we listed a whole bunch of like Pixar and Disney stuff. I think it's all great.
Yeah. For sure.
I know we're not done there.
Yeah, and we're not even done, so.
Right. All right, so are we my number 4 now?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going a whole 180 from you guys. Beauty and the Beast.
I love Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast is amazing.
Great movie.
It was actually the first animated film to be nominated for Best Picture. Not just...
Yeah, just straight up Best Picture,
just straight up Best Picture. It's absolutely amazing. It's like Stockholm Syndrome, the movie, which a lot of people don't like, but whatever. Okay? It's great.
It's kind of...
Don't knock it till you try it.
It's definitely an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah, but I love it. I love the whole I love it. Great. I love it when people go from like arcs, with their character, and I think this animated film has a lot of good arcs as opposed to like other Disney films that don't have a lot of arc with their characters.
Yeah, the characters change a lot in this movie.
Yeah, they change a lot in this movie. Like both main characters really change a lot, and it's kind of ends in a very romantic kind of way, but it's still a great exploration of like love and like true love and romance and stuff, and I love it.
Eliminating the shallowness of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I can relate to the Beast. Like, what can I say?
I can totally relate to the Beast, bro.
Yeah, dude.
The movie also has, arguably, I think it's true. I think that it has like the best worst villain in Disney. He's like Gaston's the best villain. But I fucking hate him.
Yeah, no,
he's so fucking bad. He's such a terrible human being.
Such a dick. Like
he's such a terrible person.
Yeah.
Like it's like him, the Catholic priest from like Notre Dame, and like Scar. Fuck all them.
Yeah. No, yeah, I love that.
Most villains suck.
Well, I know, like they suck, but like he's such a
cocky,
he's such a bad person. Like if you think Gaston's cool, fuck you.
Yeah, like you're a dick.
He's such a bad person.
You can't even, I would understand if you think Jafar is cool,
yeah,
but you can't.
Jafar is cool.
Yeah, he is cool. He's a spellcaster.
Yeah, Jafar's like this weird wizard dude.
Yeah, but like Gaston's just a dick.
Gaston's
just
awful.
A douchebag.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like the most chauvinistic piece of shit you could ever find.
Yeah, he's like Zach Baggins in animation.
It's a great movie though.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I love it.
Yeah.
So I even like the live action version. I think that's really good too.
I haven't watched it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Who was that one? Is the one with Emma Watson, right?
Emma Watson and Dan Stevens. Yeah.
I should watch it just to watch Emma
Stevens,
Watson.
Boy.
I like Emma Watson a lot.
Emma Watson's cool. Yeah, she's prime. All right.
Yeah. I can go with so I can go with the fourth one. This is definitely the most obscure film on the list.
Here we go.
This is
Akira. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, Akira, the most obscure film on this list. No, this is Garden of Sinners 5. Paradox Spiral. It's the fifth movie. Kara no Kyokai would be the Japanese translation. I'll go with Garden of Sinners because it's probably no one here is gonna. It's easier to find that way if you're interested in this. So Garden of Sinners is the fifth Garden of Sinners movie. There's 8 of them. The 8th one is like a weird in between that doesn't need to count. So there's 7 mainline movies. It's a set of 7 movies adapted from a novel like translation. In Japan, and it's basically like ghost story detective agency.
Okay.
It's a small detective agency that has a few like main cast characters that are like going through and trying to solve this one overarching like mystery. Mm-hmm. And in the 5th one, the one I'm talking about specifically, it is definitely the trippiest, most like mind-bending fuck all like experience I've seen in almost anything in like a long ass time. The director is Takayuki Hirao. He is an in-house director for Studio Ufotable, who is the guys that did like the Fate Stay Night movie. They make really good-looking movies.
Okay.
These movies came out in the late 2000s. This movie needs context for all the stuff that came before.
Oh boy.
So it's like I said, I could never recommend this movie to anybody. It's a special place to me. It was my favorite movie for a long time. Over time, I've kind of I think outgrown it. Uh-huh. It's definitely like telling a story to like a more younger adult. Mm-hmm. That's not to say that it isn't still great. The whole series of 7 movies came out of chronology.
Okay.
And then this movie takes it into one step further. And then this movie in particular is told, like, all the events in it are told out of order. It's like very much like Memento-esque, where like everything is like colliding into a central point, and that works because the title is Paradox Spiral. Everything bleeds into the middle. It's about this this woman named Shiki Ryogi. She is a she basically works for this paranormal agency. They're like searching into ghosts. It takes place in like 90s Tokyo. And she has these special like magical eyes that let her see the threads of people's lives in them, and you can basically like trace along those lines and someone would die. So she's got like weird special supernatural powers. And there's this series of murders that are taking place in this tower building, and they all take place on a loop. Every day everyone wakes up in this building, and by the end of the day, everyone's dead except this one guy who has realized the loop. Mm-hmm. So half the story is this guy realizing this loop and like trying to break out of it, and the other half is Shiki investigating this place, and it's them both discovering things, and as they discover things, the other character figures something out, and then they don't actually interact until like near like the mid part of the movie, and then it all turns into this weird like mess of stuff. There's foreshadowing all over the place. The movie just tells you how it ends, like from like I think basically the second scene in the movie, but you don't have the context to know that that's the ending until you watch the whole thing. Mm-hmm. There's two viewing orders like you can like find online. There's a viewing order that does the story completely chronologically. Okay. So you can you have to watch the 31st minute to like the 50th minute, and then cut back to like the 12th minute to like the 15th minute. You can watch the movie that way, and it kind of makes sense.
Awful.
Don't watch it that way.
That sounds terrible.
But the movie's told in such a weird mishmash of ways that you could watch it that way.
Okay.
The movie's beautiful. It has a really great score. Like I said, it requires a lot of investment. You have to watch like 4 movies before this one.
Yeah.
So I don't expect anyone to like give it the time of day, but it meant a lot to me when I was watching it. The climax and the satisfaction of like figuring out what happens in that movie is really gratifying. I like when movies like challenge you, and this movie challenges the fuck out of you.
Yes.
It's great. The pacing is all over the place.
I need to watch that.
But it's really good.
We watched one of them.
We watched the first one. We watched the.
Need to continue.
Yeah, it's really good. That's definitely the weirdest thing on here. Everything after this,
smooth sailing.
Yeah, smooth sailing from here.
All right, go ahead, T-Kettle. What's your number 4?
We got number 4 is Princess Mononoke. It's like a D&D campaign, in all honesty, because exposition comes from exploration, quests comes to Ashitaka as he meets new NPCs or discovers new lands with hardships. Come for the beautiful visuals, stay for the characters and themes of hate-breeding hate among men and beasts or deforestation. There's a severe lack of medieval fantasy settings in films, so the best place to get it is within the realm of animation, in my opinion. And this is just a really great example of that.
Okay.
Actually, I think it holds a candle to almost any like fantasy-based thing. Maybe not like Lord of the Rings. But...
Is this Studio Ghibli?
Yeah.
Ghibli, right?
This is my number 2.
Ooh,
you're giving away.
You just spoiled it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do we want to talk about it all right now, or do we?
No, we usually wait. We actually usually don't like say it if one of them comes up.
Yeah, all right.
Usually we can tell if something's on each other's list because one of them just stays really quiet as the other one goes off about it.
No problem. I'll go on my rant at my number 2 then.
You're good.
All right, sounds good.
I know you're gonna talk about it in more detail, so it's fine.
I love this movie.
I know.
My number 3 is actually a tie between 3 movies.
Okay.
Damn.
I know what they are.
What are they?
Toy Story
trilogy.
Yeah.
It's honestly like the perfect trilogy in my opinion. It starts and ends so well, and this is the movie that really put 3D animation on the map. For films, it was the first one to really. It was the first Pixar movie, technically. So.
Technically, if you don't count Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Which I guess technically wasn't Pixar at the time.
Yeah, it was like...
It was most of the Pixar staff, but it wasn't literally Pixar.
Yeah. So, Toy Story, a lot was riding on it for Pixar to become its own company, and it freaking paid off. I mean, if you look at it now, some of it might seem a little rudimentary. That's one thing about 2D animation is that it doesn't age. 3D animation can kind of age. If you look at some of the old ones, you're like, oh boy,
I know there's some janky stuff from the 50s and 60s.
Oh yeah.
And 2D that you're like, oof.
Okay.
Compared to today,
right,
oof.
For sure. No, I got you.
So it happens, but
Don Bluth is amazing, but
yeah, Toy Story's great.
Yeah, Toy Story is fantastic.
I cried at the end of the third movie in theaters.
Oh yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
like a fucking baby.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's great. You roll with these characters.
I love that movie,
and it's surprisingly mature. And it's surprising, like, I love the fact that there's no musical numbers.
It grows up with the audience, too, in, like, the most, like, literal way ever. Like, the time gap between 2 and 3 is, like, what was it, like, 10, 12 years, something like that? Like, I was a kid watching Toy Story 2.
Yeah.
I was like a high schooler at the end when Toy Story 3 came out.
Yeah. And that's kind of what Andy was. You grow up with Andy.
Yeah, he's going to college, yeah.
And it shows, like, what toys can, like, mean to somebody. Or not just toys. I think the toys represent something more than just toys, you know? It represents childhood and innocence and, like, you know, just a different time period in your life where things were just easier, you know? And it's not afraid to explore those themes. The Toy Story trilogy is not afraid to explore those type of hard themes, and it looks like the fourth one's going to even explore those themes as well.
Yeah.
You know, of like existence and shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
God.
We watched the teasers together, but he's never seen. They put out like actual trailers.
Yeah, like finally.
And I think the trailer puts out like gives out too much, but man, I'm really digging the vibe.
Yeah,
from it.
It's like, whoa, okay, like they're going there.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're gonna take it. To be honest with you, what if it just ends with all of them just in a trash heap?
This true existential dread of the
universe
is
I know,
complete.
right? Like, that's fucked up.
The cold heat death is a come.
I would not accept that.
Yeah,
not in Toy Story.
That was almost the end of 3, like when they're like in the trash compactor.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in the
I
dump.
did not feel a thing for that scene. I did not feel a damn thing.
I felt bad.
I was like,
that wasn't the part that made me cry. The part that made me cry is when he's like packing everything up and he's like driving down the sunset.
When he gives when he gives all his toys away and then she reaches for like Woody and he's just like
I was like
back.
I was like fuck.
But then he has to realize that he has to give them up to her. Oh man, that's sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You ever see the prank? It was on YouTube where some guy edited the movie, like the DVD of Toy Story 3, to where it ends at that trash compactor scene. And he showed it to his family who's never seen the movie.
Oh, and they probably flipped out.
Yeah, they flipped out. Because it's funny because they're going like into the trash, you know, and then it just cuts to black and it's like the end credits scene. And then you hear his mom saying, What? Is that how it ends? And then he waits for like 2 days before telling her.
Oh, what a bastard!
And lets it linger. That like
I couldn't have let it linger. I would have caved.
And then he fell. And then he finally told her, and it was hilarious.
That's fucking.
I can see why that is so funny.
That's funny.
Oh, that's crazy. So yeah, Toy Story trilogy, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, my number 3. End of Evangelion, the Neon Genesis Evangelion movie. Directed, screenplay, and key animation all done by Hideaki Anno. Hideaki Anno is one of the most influential animators alive. Him, along with Hayao Miyazaki, they're good buddies. Hideaki Anno actually did the lead voice role in... I'm blanking on the goddamn name.
Memory.
The Ghibli airplane movie, Wind Rising.
Rosso.
No, Wind Rising.
My bad.
Both airplanes. Hayao Miyazaki really likes airplanes.
He likes airplanes.
He likes airplanes a lot. Wind Rising. I can't believe I blanked on that. That's embarrassing. Anyways, Hideaki Anno, End of Evangelion. There was a time in Japanese animation in 1995 where there was before Evangelion, and then there was after Evangelion. Evangelion has such a gigantic influence on anime, and I think animation in general, that it is hard to understate how important the TV series and this movie are. The movie less important, but the movie it's a movie list, and this movie is the capstone to the show. So for those that don't know, the show is infamous for its like last couple episodes, basically just like tanking in visual quality. Production issues became rampant, and instead of like trying to scrap together something that like looked passable, Hideaki Anno decided to go for a very like what would be the right word, existential and like abstract ending. The ending is like basically pencil sketches like swirling around on the screen, and it's definitely like a mind like bending experience. And for some people, that ending is great, and for some others, they don't like it. Because it's very much like an anti-climax up to the TV series. So like a couple years later, he made this, the end of Evangelion. It's like what literally happens during the end of the movie, like the end of the series, versus like the actual ending of the series being like a whole mental mishmash in the main character's head.
Oh, okay.
So the movie is it's huge. First of all, until Your Name came out, it was the highest grossing animation in Japanese box office history. I think it was like in the top 5, like just highest grossing films, like just in general in Japan. It fucks with your head. It's another movie that fucks with your head. It deals with a lot of themes of on like what is it to be human? Like, do we deserve to exist as like a human race? Like, we're pretty fucked up. It's a post-apocalyptic setting where humanity is on the edge of ruin as these 16 angelic figures basically appear from outer space and proceed to destroy humanity, or attempt to. And the only way to fight back against this is obviously to use teenagers and giant robots to combat this. For story reasons, they explain it. There's story reasons as to why that all happens. But this is basically it's a movie about depression. Hideaki Anno is famously going through severe depression at this point. He's talked about it in interviews. He was on the verge of killing himself multiple times during the productions of the shows, and you can see it. The characters are all fucked up messes. They're all on the edge of breaking. Most of them have already broken multiple points during the series. You're taking the fate of the world and you're putting it in 14-year-olds' hands, and they don't handle the pressure well, for obvious reasons.
Damn.
And
that's why everyone hates it.
And the movie basically depicts the end of the world.
Wow.
And man, it's heart-wrenching. It's fucked. The characters go through some... Don't listen to me. There's like dozens and dozens of analyses on YouTube that you can watch that do a way better job explaining it than me. The movie's really important to animation, just I think in all fields, like East or West. And it tells... the story it has a perspective about it that you don't get often. There's something special... As fucked up as it is to say, there's something special about like the depressed like artist, and the stuff they put on screen.
I agree.
Definitely, they definitely put stuff on screen that like someone with a.
And okay, go ahead.
It definitely puts on screen some stuff that I probably can't appreciate. I've never had clinical depression. At least I don't think so. I've never like taken medicine for it or anything. So I think there's even stuff I'm missing. There's definitely people out there with better perspectives than me that love this movie. And I think it's worth checking out. Even if you haven't watched the TV show, it will make no sense. But there's scenes in there that are iconic. You should just watch the TV show if you're interested in anime at all. It's definitely like a groundbreaking series. And there is like I said, there is a time before and after this movie and this TV series. And the way anime has gone since then, you can attribute almost all of that in some part to Evangelion.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Also, just to warn you guys, we are at 20%, which this means that like this laptop lasts a while, whatever. But just to...
I'm going to speed run real quick. You ready?
Well, like, just saying, like, you might want to condense your number 2 just because I know with your number 1, we're going to want to, like, really dive in on that, so...
Number 3, Your Name. 2 people have been swapping bodies that live quite a distance from each other. Instead of trying to figure out this phenomenon, they roll with it because they want to be in somebody else's shoes as they are in the midst of their awkward teen years. Arguably one of the greatest looking animation features ever, Makoto Shinkai was actually disappointed with the final outcome, saying 2 years wasn't enough. I don't know what he wanted to do additionally, but it's a great balance of tone, starting with awkward adolescent humor to epic catastrophe film. And every moment was used for the sake of character development. You'll laugh, you'll smile, and if you don't cry, well, you're just not human.
With Your Name, because I'm not like huge on anime, just because I don't know.
You should watch it.
But like when I heard the premise of Your Name, I was like, I got to see this.
You should watch it.
It blew up. It like became, so I mentioned earlier, Your Name became like the biggest movie ever in Japan.
Yeah.
And became big here too. It like blew the fuck up. The movie's really good.
Yeah, I hear it's amazing. So, and I love the premise. So the whole body swap premise between.
It's got some of the best background art and.
Yeah.
Oh,
in anything.
Absolutely.
Damn, alright.
I think only his other works, like, beat it. Like, he's got 2 other movies beforehand that are, like, equally good looking.
Garden of Words.
Garden of Words specifically. But those movies are only like 40 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
And this one's like an hour. Yeah, this movie's like an hour and like 40.
It ends well, unlike that movie.
Yeah, and this movie's actually good. Those other movies are bad.
Oh, okay.
They're not that good. They just look incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my number 3.
Is it my number 2 time?
Yes.
All right. Here's a surprising factor for me. For my friends listening to this right now, they're going to be surprised this isn't my number 1. Little Mermaid is my number 2.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
Repping out the Little Mermaid.
Repping out the Little Mermaid. I love it. Okay, she's the best Disney princess. It's kind of like a take on the hero's journey. It's just different because it's with Ariel instead of like Homer. You know, this film is like the Odyssey, but with a Disney princess, and that's what I really like about it. You know, and it's like she's kind of a flawed character, but that's kind of like, which was kind of like something you didn't see a lot back in those days, I guess you could say, with like Disney films. It's arguable, but I feel like her character flaws aren't as overt as the other ones are. You know, they're more like personality traits that some people don't like, and I'm like, yeah, but that's like what being human is about. You know, like that's what kind of like that's what she shows. It's like you being human sucks sometimes, and people make shitty decisions without even realizing it sometimes, and sometimes without even learning from it. And that's kind of what this movie shows. But even with that, though, she still like does a lot to like sacrifice for, you know, the person she loves and stuff like that. It ends a little bit kind of cliche, I guess you could say. I feel like if this movie wanted to go a little more crazy, it could have ended in a very risky way of like having them not end up being together. But, you know, this is Disney we're talking about, so they have to end up together, even if the rest of the film doesn't necessarily lead up to that, which this does, but, you know, I feel like this movie kind of has a different kind of tone to it than the other ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so.
Need to rewatch it.
It's really good. I used to not like it when I was like 7 because I was a boy.
Yeah.
And a 7-year-old boy that thought it was lame, but I think it's really good now.
Yeah, it's gret. Which is so weird because I'm talking about how I hate musical numbers. My number 2 and my number 1. You're going to be like, okay.
It's really good.
Yeah, dude, Ariel's great. And she's prime.
Dude, nutheads, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so my number 2?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
so,
we already know.
yeah, Princess Mononoke. I spoiled it earlier. For good reason. This movie is fucking incredible. It's the best thing Hayao Miyazaki's ever made, in my opinion. It is a culmination of like all of the themes he likes to portray in his fantasy movies. The relationship between humanity and civilization and nature is on point, on the nose here. You can't miss it. Humanity is literally killing the forest, and the forest manifests into like real things to like fight back. It's great.
Oh wow.
The movie is gorgeous. It's breathtaking. Ashitaka is
he's amazing.
He's a boy. You want to root for him the entire time. He's great.
It's also really gory.
Yeah, the movie is violent. There are some parts in that movie that are like, what the fuck? Jeez.
Chopping people's heads off and like blood spurts out.
Yeah, it gets violent. Yeah, it's hardcore.
Wow. It's surprising because Hayao Miyazaki doesn't strike me as the kind of.
Usually, it's definitely his most violent film.
Yeah.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
It definitely strikes a contrast to the events that are going around it. The movie's awesome. I don't have much to say about it. Other than that, it's just awesome. It explores its themes like expertly. It's one of the best looking movies ever made, at least as far as the animation goes. And it is just a joy to watch. The score is amazing. Everything about it is amazing. Watch it.
Okay. What's your number 2?
My number 2. So 1. If I watch this movie again, it could definitely be number 1, and if I watch the other number 1, it could totally be number 2. So it could really go either way.
Be interchangeable.
It could be interchangeable, but this is gonna surprise you because I did a review of it on YouTube, and like it was kind of like maybe lukewarm at the time, but it's definitely not anymore. It's Wolf Children. I love this movie. Mamoru Hosoda always finds fantasy stories to turn into the beauty of family. In Wolf Children, a human mother has a night of passion with a wolf man, and she has 2 children she must raise alone. A celebration of mothers surpassing any other film. Not once does the word "I love you" leave a character's mouth, but their actions say it tenfold. It also touches on being a teenager and finding your own path. And no matter what you choose, just know your mother will always support and love you.
Damn.
I knew you would love this movie. When I showed it to you, I knew you would love it.
I was in Florida at the time, so I could not like watch it with you. But man, it really crept up on me, and it's one of the best movies that came out in the last decade.
Yeah, it's like definitely the like penultimate like single mom kicking the fucking world, like the world's ass, like over and over again. She's the best.
And I really want it to be my number 1, and it should be, but I can't change it just because I haven't watched it in a while. or the number one.
Yeah. Wolf Children also has great animation. You were mentioning Mamoru Hosoda. He's great. Like I said, he's coming up big. He's only getting bigger.
Nice. Is it my number one time?
Yes.
I think you might know what it is. What's the one like animated movie, even though it's not the animated version that I have on my wall?
I don't know.
It's The Jungle Book.
Oh.
It's The Jungle Book, man.
Oh, okay.
The Jungle Book.
I love The Jungle Book. It's kind of like a left field thing, but I just love this.
The bare necessities, man.
The bare necessities, dude. Phil Harris, who voices Baloo, freaking Louis Prima as the monkey. What's his name? I can't remember. King Louis, of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just a fantastic story about this boy trying to find out who he is, and kind of it has that like theme of like being different and stuff like that.
Fish out of water.
Yeah, fish out of water storyline, and having that kind of affect you as a person trying to find like your purpose in life, which I'm still trying to fucking do. So I really relate to this film. This film came out in like 1967, I think. Let me just double check it. Yeah, 1967, and it still holds up with its themes and its visuals and its amazing animation. Even some of it is repurposed, but it's still freaking amazing. I absolutely love The Jungle Book, man. It's fantastic. And I'm not huge on musicals. The fucking musicals in this are great.
Yeah.
Bare necessities.
Yeah.
Dude.
I haven't watched that movie in so long.
Oh, it's so good, dude. The sequel
watch it
sucks. Don't watch the sequel.
Is it a sequel?
There is a
I
sequel.
didn't even know that. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Is it one of those like straight to DVD?
No,
like,
it was in
Aladdin 2
theaters.
fucking sequels?
Jungle Book 2?
No, Jungle Book 2 was in theaters.
Really?
I saw it in theaters, and I liked it when I was a kid, but I'm like, nah, don't do it. Yeah, that came out in like 2003. And the live action is also really good.
It is
live action is good.
Yeah, live action
awesome.
is really good.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, dude. I love it. I love this film. I can't really add much on it, to be honest with you. Probably because I want to give you guys more reign here because I'm tired.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Yes.
What's up? You want me to
Go
go? Yeah.
Number one.
My number one. This is definitely like This is the one that I just feel has to be number one. I can't like give an analysis on why it's number one. But Samurai X, Trust and Betrayal. It's the Rurouni Kenshin prequel movie. If any of you watched Rurouni Kenshin like on Toonami back in the day,
I do. I know that. Yeah.
It's an anime about a wandering swordsman that is vowed to kill no one ever again.
Does he have white hair and pointy ears?
He has no. That's Inuyasha.
Oh, okay.
He's got like big red hair and he's got a cross-shaped scar on his cheek.
Oh, okay.
He is. This takes place after the end, like the fall of the Tokugawa shogunate during the Meiji Restoration, like the TV show. And he basically played a massive role in shaking up the governmental status in mid 1800 like 19th century Japan. Fictional character. He wasn't a real person, but he was infamous in the TV show as someone called Batosai the Manslayer. He was just like the biggest badass there ever was. This movie takes place. It was made in I think 1999 by Studio Dean. The director was Kazuhiro Furuhashi. He's worked on stuff like the Hunter x Hunter TV series and like Gundam Unicorn. One of the best Gundam TV like one of the best Gundam things. Yeah.
Characters.
Okay.
And this movie takes place during the upheaval of the Tokugawa shogunate. And it portrays him when he was the badass. Batosai the Manslayer, like the murderer, like a fucking murderer. He killed a bunch of people. It just has a really special place in my heart. It shows you a reversal of like it gives you context for the kind of person that his character is in the TV series in a way that like the TV series never like touches on. Like there's brief moments where they kind of show you small tidbits of like his life beforehand. But this movie just does it so expertly. The animation is insane. It's incredible. The studio that did it, Studio Dean, has an infamous reputation for turning for adapting material very poorly. And this is like the one thing in that era of Studio Dean that like turned out excellently.
Oh wow!
It goes to show you the arc of Kenshin, of where he starts as like a youth that was sold into slavery. His caretakers, like his owners at the time, were murdered by bandits on the road, and he was saved by a wandering swordsman that took him in eventually and trained him to become a mega badass, to become one of the greatest swordsmen in Japan. He becomes frustrated with the political situation of Japan at the time. The Tokugawa shogunate at this point in time in like real history was a very tyrannical like order and very isolationist. They did not want outside powers moving into their country, like Portugal and the United States. So a faction of the shogunate rose up against them, overthrew them, and Kenshin is a big part of that.
Oh, wow.
And his growth from becoming like a slave boy to becoming a student to becoming he leaves to like join this war effort even though his master like forbids him. And his transformation from like a youth trying to like make the world a better place to become this jaded like assassin, this person that is just like he is a hired man that will kill at a word's notice. To him being forced to make the toughest choice of his entire life and making a mistake that he regrets so greatly to this day that he forbids himself from killing ever again, which sets up the foundation of like a 100 episode like TV series and like a huge manga series. It's very popular in Japan.
Yeah.
It looks great. It has my favorite soundtrack in any movie, like bar none.
Yeah.
I love the soundtrack, and it's amazing. I love it deeply. There's no like philosophical reason why I think it's important, like stuff like Evangelion or Perfect Blue.
It's a personal choice for you.
But yeah, it's spoken to me for years. I watched it like, I don't know, I was like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
It has stuck with me.
All right.
I bought it for an outrageous amount of money on Blu-ray in Japan because you can't buy it on Blu-ray here in the States. Also, by the way, I haven't mentioned this for almost any of the stuff I've been talking about so far, but most of the stuff the anime I've listed, I watch in Japanese. Don't watch this in English. It's really bad in English.
Really?
The Evangelion movie is pretty good in English. Perfect Blue is bad in English. Mononoke, you can actually watch in English. It's great in English.
Yeah, you can do that.
It's great in English.
Got some.
That seems to be like all Ghibli films are kind of pretty.
Yeah,
good
they're all Disney dubbed.
It's got like Claire Danes, Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, wow, nice.
Karno Kyokai has no dub. You can only watch it in Japanese.
Yeah.
All right.
I love that movie. Go watch Samurai X. You don't have to have any context for the TV series for it to be good. I've showed it to many people. Everyone loves it.
All right.
This is very anticlimactic right here.
What's the anticlimax?
It's Toy Story.
Oh, nice.
Because it was my favorite movie as a kid. I watched it infinitely. Like
it's a lot of people's first movie they ever saw.
So much.
Like from our age.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. To this day, I still really like the genius behind the gorgeous visuals and plethora of delightful characters. It's a movie about coexisting. 3D animation can coexist with 2D. Just because this was the shiny new toy back in the day doesn't mean one was better than the other. Because honestly, I do prefer 2D usually. Specific genres can also coexist. Sci-fi may be the new Western, building universes for the sake of characters, but they can both be a part of Andy and us. I don't mean to ruin Toy Story for people, but there's more to it than meets the eye. It's Pixar's golden goose, and in my opinion, they never toppled it. They came right out of the gate displaying what kids' movies should look like. Family movies.
Nice.
I still love that movie, but I need to rewatch it desperately.
Yeah. No. Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting that from you, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I really wasn't. Were you expecting that?
No.
I was not expecting.
I was like waiting for the hidden card to be revealed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned Toy Story 2 earlier on, didn't you?
True. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, so that was the bait and switch. We were here to talk about Toy Story 1.
So Toy Story 3 is your least favorite out of the three, huh?
It is.
Oh, wow. Okay. Dang. All right.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is a very long list. I think this might have been our longest time.
Yeah, it's pretty long. It's not the day to forget the charger, that's for sure.
Yeah, rip. Sorry.
But, all right, so you guys have fun? You guys?
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah,
it was
of
a
course.
lot of fun.
Really appreciate it.
The reason I didn't dive deep into these is because, as T-Kettle knows, I'm not huge on animation. Like I told
and
in
you
the beginning.
chose it.
I did. Because it was an easy list for me because I haven't seen much.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
All these films I listed are pretty much the only animation.
I own most of the stuff I was talking about on Blu-ray or DVD. If you ever want to borrow some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
At the very least, we got to get you hooked up on that Ghibli box set.
Yeah.
You need to watch some Ghibli movies.
I want to watch Your Name. That's one I do want to watch.
We don't have that though.
We can steal it. I know people that have it.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I really want to rewatch it too.
All right, you can watch Rear Window, and we'll watch.
I gotta watch that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I guess the last thing you got to say is to infinity and so. Well, you gotta say so. You gotta say so. There it is. So wait, what was that, T-Kettle? I had to restart this here. You said Jake was the inspiration
honestly
for
kind of brought So into my world because he our friend Tone made it.
Yeah, let me sort. I gotta source my work. Tone, Anthony Haas, you boy.
Yes.
You're the one that gave us the suh.
And so we just kind of stole it.
Yeah, the suh has been around for like how long has it been around?
Since the Destiny 1 days, so like 2015.
Earlier than that, I want to say.
I don't know. I wasn't here. I was in Florida. So.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been around for a long time.
2015.
Yeah.
So the soot came about.
Yep.
Dang, we have one of the soot originators.
Yeah. There's soot, and then there's Sick City. There's all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, that's his thing. I say that all the time.
This is like the outtake, the hidden behind the credits outtake. Where's our shawarma at?
Yeah. Good question. All right, I'm gonna stop it now because that was just a little interesting.
Bye.
Bye. So.